On out to the 20-yard line. It didn't matter, the 35 or the 30. John Ruff, the outstanding kicker from Altoona, gets IUP off to an excellent start.
Well, he dubbed the first one, but he boomed the second one. He made up for it, and on the touchback, Edinboro takes over at their 20 with Jody Dickerson, the leading class passer in the conference, at the controls.
He is a senior. He transferred, as we mentioned, from Michigan State out of Stowe Rocks High School. He has Jackson, the record-setting tailback, in there. Snyder is the fullback, Chris Snyder. And the tight end is on the right side. That's Henney. Receivers left and right on the first play from scrimmage, and the ball goes to the fullback, Snyder. And Snyder gets a couple of yards, maybe out to the 23-yard line. We'll set IUP defensively for you. The number one tackler, Omar Stewart, made the tackle for IUP. IUP's defense has been coming on. Mike Marshall, James Benbow, Jeff Turnage, and Mike Callahan up front. Marshall 9.5 sacks. The linebackers are Omar Stewart. Omar Brown is in the center. Travis Matz is the strong safety. IUP with 5 D-backs in there right now. Cliff Despinosa gets a start out of the I formation. 2 receivers to the left. Jackson gets the call. Tries to dance his way, but didn't quite get the 25-yard line. Jackson, who has about 4.47 speed, was hit by Omar Stewart again.
Stewart's right there on the first 2 plays. Arrington comes in as they'll put him in instead of Benbow. Passing situation facing the Scots, 3rd and 5.
Pretty conservative on the first 2 plays. Corey Keys comes out here to the left. Stewart leads the team with 70 hits. I formation, flanker to the right side. Jody Dickerson from the 25 on 3rd down and 5 for the Borough. 6-1 on the year. Long count. Dickerson, short drop, throws the pass, slipping, and no good to Corey Keys. He slipped, tried to grasp it. Despinosa right there, 4th down.
Yeah, the slip really hurt him because Keys, when he slipped, he put up his right hand, the ball hit it, but Despinosa then whacked it away. Punt formation for Edinboro.
And Edinboro is going to go with their place kicker also as their punter today, and that is Scott Rupert. He was the PSAC Baseball Player of the Year. He's from Central Dauphin East, and he stands at his 11-yard line.
Let's see if IUP can field this punt on the fly.
Eric Zeckman is the long snapper. It's a good one, and the left-footed kicker gets it out of there. It dies in the wind, but coming up to meet it at the 45 is Mosley. Spins his way. We got a flag. That doesn't look good. And down at the 49 of IUP is Vaughn Mosley.
It should have been good field position, but I agree where they threw it. It's doubtless against IUP. But IUP with the first possession here. IUP football sponsors include Luther Ford Sales. Go with a winner. Go with Luther Ford. Tito Beverages, master distributor for Rolling Rock and Anheuser-Busch products. And the Co-op store. A plus for the student and a plus for you.
So IUP will get the penalty, and that's one thing they've really got to stay away from today, and that's the old penalty bugaboo, the ones that really kill you. It will move them back to their 36-yard line after the punt.
Jack, the field is in great shape. Talked to Frank Signete. I was down on it. You were too. It is just tremendous condition.
They had the tarp. They had it covered, the field covered with a tarp for a couple of days this week. Took it off about Thursday. Steve Russell, who was a teammate in high school of Larry Jackson of Edinboro, out of the I formation. And Dennis Robinson goes down. He is right at the line of scrimmage. And the tackle was made in there by Matt Gentile.
He hit him behind the line, as you called it, Jack, and a loss back to the 35, 2nd and 11.
Up front, Brian Lambert, 225-pound junior. Al Bass, 280-pound senior. Matt Gentile just made the tackle, 260 a junior. And Pat Schuster with 9 sacks, 6'2", 230-pounder. He's from Bradford. He's the best defensive lineman. To the right side comes Mario Hardison. To the left goes Ton Henderson. Sadler, the tight end. Out of the I formation, Robinson. And he's going to be hit again after about just back to the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Each team trying to establish the run, and each team not giving any ground.
And the other team knows that they're establishing the run, so they're keying for the run. And you can almost see both teams tight coming out, Jack. The offense is so tentative here. They don't want to make a mistake. Things will loosen up.
And Darren Hennigan, who last week made his first appearance of the year, the freshman from Derry, comes in as a wideout. He comes to the right. Sadler is tight on the right side, and the twins to the left are Hardison and Henderson. Steve Russell with a 3rd down and 11 at his 35. Short drop. Here's one of the new plays, a quarterback draw. He runs it on out. He's not going to get a first down. He gets to the 42-yard line. That's one of the new plays that was talked about. And coming over to get him was Michael Sims, the junior linebacker from Wilkinsburg, and so IUP will be forced to punt.
And to do the honors, the conference's top punter, he kicked that record-setting 78-yarder last week against Cheney here. He's averaging 41.3. That's John McGee.
And Corey Keys will be back to receive. Line of scrimmage is the IUP 42. The snap is good one from Robert Lang, and the kick is a booming drive way back. Keys goes back and he fields it. He tries to do it. It goes in the end zone. It's still loose, and it goes out of the end zone. That ball was still alive, and IUP could have had a touchdown.
It sure was. He kind of lollygagged back there thinking it's in the end zone, and Danny Glass was right down there, and Keys was very fortunate. It was almost a boner by Edinboro there.
So Edinboro will get the ball. We've got a 0-0 game, 11:46 mark. It reminds us of the great punt by Ken Haggerty in that game of 1990 that Ernest Priester tried to field and bobbled it around the 4-yard line. They almost made a mistake on this one. McGee with a tremendous kick. I think that's a 58-yarder.
Yeah.
58-yarder on the 11:46 to go, first quarter. There is no score. Second series for Edinboro. It's given to Jackson. Jackson finds a little running room, and he sheds a tackler, goes across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. John Stewart tried to get him and just slowed him up enough that they could make the play.
Yeah, he'll get credit for the tackle, but coming over was also Callahan to really hit him hard, but a 6-yard pickup for Jackson. If Stewart doesn't hit him, Jackson's still running.
Listen to Jackson's stat. 207 yards, 207 carries, 1,286 yards. He averages 183 yards a game, and that is better than any record all time. Right now, Johnny Bailey of Texas A&I set the record. We've got a lone setback, receivers left and right on a 2nd down and 4, and the give is to Jackson. Slides off the left side. IUP comes up to meet him. He's going to get a first down, and he is still pounding his way and comes across the 30, and we'll see where they mark him. Now we get a late flag. They're going to mark him at the 31-yard line.
And this flag could be against IUP because it was all red shirts there tackling him. Actually, his progress was stopped at the 31, but Jackson never gave up. Personal foul against IUP, the second major penalty against IUP here in the first quarter, and this one really hurts as it'll be tacked on to the end of the run. Jackson, even though his progress was stopped at the 31, he ended up at about the 32 and a half.
And he's not really known for his great strength, but that time he carried people with him, and the 15-yard mark-off will take it out to the 46-yard line. We've got 2 penalties already against IUP, and the Borough has a new set of downs here at the 46. And we're going to get to Doug right after the next play here and get his first report of the afternoon. Doug Steve roaming the sidelines, of course. 0-0. 11-minute mark. We're ticking away. Edinboro punted, IUP punted. Edinboro's second series.
What time for Dickerson to throw a pass, I think.
And he's got double tights in there now out of the I formation. He gives it to Jackson on a slant off the left side. He gets his way out to the 50-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. So let's go to the sideline, pick up our first report of the day, brought to you by Holiday Inn, your in place for the area's best brunch.
Okay, Jack and Ray, down here on the field, that last flag was on Andre Hilliard for a personal foul. And when Jody Dickerson was coming up out of the power, it was Jackson that was on, but Jody Dickerson yelled something over to the IUP bench saying, hey, we don't need any of that crap today. Let's just play some football. So Jody Dickerson wants to play today, so that first one was on Andre Hilliard. Let's take it back upstairs.
Okay, Doug, out of the I formation, just shy of the 50-yard line. 2nd down and a little more than 6 to go. Snyder the up back, Jackson the tailback, twins to the right side. Dickerson fakes, boots to the right side. This is where he's dangerous. On the run, throws the ball sideline. It's incomplete. Threw it away. Travis Matz was diving for it. He was hit from behind when the receiver saw he was never going to get near the ball, and he wanted to make sure Matz wasn't going to get it.
He had great coverage, did Matz, on Corey Keys. The pass was just out of bounds. No one was going to catch that one. It's 3rd and 7 for the Fighting Scots of Edinboro. No score first quarter. They have it at their own 49-yard line.
The great receiver, Lateef Walters, as we reported earlier, not here today. And, of course, IUP is without Harold Brister, who apparently gave up football this past week. He just felt that he has not been able to come back to his all-star performance of last year.
Derek McGahee in for IUP defensively.
Lone setback, 2 receivers to the right. Roberts comes out here to the left. On the draw, it goes to Jackson, spins his way, got a first down at the 45. He's at the 40-yard line, and then he is crunched from behind by James Benbow and downed at the 36. First down for Edinboro. Larry Jackson had a hole.
That's vintage Larry Jackson. I thought IUP had him before he made the sticks, but he made a great spin move, eluded another tackler. Benbow came back with help. Benbow took a swipe. He was trying to jar the ball loose. But Edinboro now threatening at the IUP 37.
37-yard line. We've got Jackson officially with 30 yards so far. We'll keep tabs on Jackson and Robinson for IUP today. The 37 of IUP with a 1st and 10 for the Borough. No score first quarter, 9:43 and ticking. Dickerson out of Stowe Rocks, the senior, with a lone setback, and he gives it to him and downed at the 35-yard line. The running back in there, the only running back was Tony Brinson, who came in, and he is brought down at the 35, a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. They gave Jackson a break. Now they bring Snyder, the big fullback, in. Edinboro will bring it on out to the 20-yard line. It didn't matter, the 35 or the 30. John Ruff, the outstanding kicker from Altoona, gets IUP off to an excellent start.
Well, he dubbed the first one, but he boomed the second one. He made up for it, and on the touchback, Edinboro takes over at their 20 with Jody Dickerson, the leading class passer in the conference, at the controls.
He is a senior. He transferred, as we mentioned, from Michigan State out of Stowe Rocks High School. He has Jackson, the record-setting tailback, in there. Snyder is the fullback, Chris Snyder. And the tight end is on the right side. That's Henney. Receivers left and right on the first play from scrimmage. And the ball goes to the fullback, Snyder. And Snyder gets a couple of yards, maybe out to the 23-yard line. We'll set IUP defensively for you. And the number 1 tackler, Omar Stewart, made the tackle for IUP. IUP's defense has been coming on. Mike Marshall, James Benbow, Jeff Turnage, and Mike Callahan up front. Marshall 9.5 sacks. The linebackers are Omar Stewart. Omar Brown is in the center. Travis Matz is the strong safety. IUP with 5 D-backs in there right now. Cliff Despinosa gets a start out of the I formation. 2 receivers to the left. Jackson gets the call. Tries to dance his way, but didn't quite get the 25-yard line. Jackson, who has about 4.47 speed, was hit by Omar Stewart again.
Stewart's right there on the first 2 plays. Arrington comes in as they'll put him in instead of Benbow. Passing situation facing the Scots, 3rd and 5.
Pretty conservative on the first 2 plays. Corey Keys comes out here to the left. Stewart leads the team with 70 hits. I formation, flanker to the right side. Jody Dickerson from the 25 on 3rd down and 5 for the Borough. 6-1 on the year. Long count. Dickerson, short drop, throws the pass, slipping, and no good to Corey Keys. He slipped, tried to grasp it. Despinosa right there, 4th down.
Yeah, the slip really hurt him because Keys, when he slipped, he put up his right hand. The ball hit it, but Despinosa then whacked it away. Punt formation for Edinboro.
And Edinboro is going to go with their place kicker also as their punter today, and that is Scott Rupert. He was the PSAC Baseball Player of the Year. He's from Central Dauphin East, and he stands at his 11-yard line.
Let's see if IUP can field this punt on the fly.
Eric Zeckman is the long snapper. It's a good one, and the left-footed kicker gets it out of there. It dies in the wind, but coming up to meet it at the 45 is Mosley. Spins his way. We got a flag. That doesn't look good. And down at the 49 of IUP is Vaughn Mosley.
It should have been good field position, but I agree where they threw it. It's doubtless against IUP. But IUP with the first possession here. IUP football sponsors include Luther Ford Sales. Go with a winner. Go with Luther Ford. Tito Beverages, master distributor for Rolling Rock and Anheuser-Busch products. And the Co-op store. A plus for the student and a plus for you.
So IUP will get the penalty, and that's one thing they've really got to stay away from today, and that's the old penalty bugaboo, the ones that really kill you. It will move them back to their 36-yard line after the punt.
Jack, the field is in great shape. Talked to Frank Signete. I was down on it. You were too. It is just tremendous condition.
They had the tarp. They had it covered, the field covered with a tarp for a couple of days this week. Took it off about Thursday. Steve Russell, who was a teammate in high school of Larry Jackson of Edinboro, out of the I formation. And Dennis Robinson goes down. He is right at the line of scrimmage. And the tackle was made in there by Matt Gentile.
He hit him behind the line, as you called it, Jack, and a loss back to the 35, 2nd and 11.
Up front, Brian Lambert, 225-pound junior. Al Bass, 280-pound senior. Matt Gentile just made the tackle, 260 a junior. And Pat Schuster with 9 sacks, 6'2", 230-pounder. He's from Bradford. He's the best defensive lineman. To the right side comes Mario Hardison. To the left goes Ton Henderson. Sadler, the tight end. Out of the I formation, Robinson. And he's going to be hit again after about just back to the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Each team trying to establish the run, and each team not giving any ground.
And the other team knows that they're establishing the run, so they're keying for the run. And you can almost see both teams tight coming out, Jack. The offense is so tentative here. They don't want to make a mistake. Things will loosen up.
And Darren Hennigan, who last week made his first appearance of the year, the freshman from Derry, comes in as a wideout. He comes to the right. Sadler is tight on the right side, and the twins to the left are Hardison and Henderson. Steve Russell with a 3rd down and 11 at his 35. Short drop. Here's one of the new plays, a quarterback draw. He runs it on out. He's not going to get a first down. He gets to the 42-yard line. That's one of the new plays that was talked about. And coming over to get him was Michael Sims, the junior linebacker from Wilkinsburg, and so IUP will be forced to punt.
And to do the honors, the conference's top punter, he kicked that record-setting 78-yarder last week against Cheney here. He's averaging 41.3. That's John McGee.
And Corey Keys will be back to receive. Line of scrimmage is the IUP 42. The snap is good one from Robert Ling, and the kick is a booming drive way back. Keys goes back and he fields it. He tries to do it. It goes in the end zone. It's still loose, and it goes out of the end zone. That ball was still alive, and IUP could have had a touchdown.
It sure was. He kind of lollygagged back there thinking it's in the end zone, and Danny Glass was right down there, and Keys was very fortunate. It was almost a boner by Edinboro there.
So Edinboro will get the ball. We've got a 0-0 game, 11:46 mark. It reminds us of the great punt by Ken Haggerty in that game of 1990 that Ernest Priester tried to field and bobbled it around the 4-yard line. They almost made a mistake on this one. McGee with a tremendous kick. I think that's a 58-yarder.
Yeah.
58-yarder on 11:46 to go, first quarter. There is no score. Second series for Edinboro. It's given to Jackson. Jackson finds a little running room, and he sheds a tackler, goes across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. John Stewart tried to get him and just slowed him up enough that they could make the play.
Yeah, he'll get credit for the tackle, but coming over was also Callahan to really hit him hard, but a 6-yard pickup for Jackson. If Stewart doesn't hit him, Jackson's still running.
Listen to Jackson's stat. 207 yards, 207 carries, 1,286 yards. He averages 183 yards a game, and that is better than any record all time. Right now, Johnny Bailey of Texas A&I set the record. We've got a lone setback, receivers left and right on a 2nd down and 4, and the give is to Jackson. Slides off the left side. IUP comes up to meet him. He's going to get a first down, and he is still pounding his way and comes across the 30, and we'll see where they mark him. Now we get a late flag. They're going to mark him at the 31-yard line.
And this flag could be against IUP because it was all red shirts there tackling him. Actually, his progress was stopped at the 31, but Jackson never gave up. Personal foul against IUP, the second major penalty against IUP here in the first quarter, and this one really hurts as it'll be tacked on to the end of the run. Jackson, even though his progress was stopped at the 31, he ended up at about the 32 and a half.
And he's not really known for his great strength, but that time he carried people with him, and the 15-yard mark-off will take it out to the 46-yard line. We've got 2 penalties already against IUP, and the Borough has a new set of downs here at the 46. And we're going to get to Doug right after the next play here and get his first report of the afternoon. Doug Steve roaming the sidelines, of course. 0-0, 11-minute mark. We're ticking away. Edinboro punted, IUP punted, Edinboro's second series.
What time for Dickerson to throw a pass, I think.
And he's got double tights in there now out of the I formation. He gives it to Jackson on the slant off the left side. He gets his way out to the 50-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. So let's go to the sideline, pick up our first report of the day, brought to you by Holiday Inn, your in place for the area's best brunch.
Okay, Jack and Ray, down here on the field, that last flag was on Andre Hilliard for a personal foul. And when Jody Dickerson was coming up out of the power, it was Jackson that was on, but Jody Dickerson yelled something over to the IUP bench saying, hey, we don't need any of that crap today. Let's just play some football. So Jody Dickerson wants to play today, so that first one was on Andre Hilliard. Let's take it back upstairs.
Okay, Doug, out of the I formation, just shy of the 50-yard line, 2nd down and a little more than 6 to go. Snyder the up back, Jackson the tailback, twins to the right side. Dickerson fakes, boots to the right side. This is where he's dangerous. On the run, throws the ball sideline. It's incomplete. Threw it away. Travis Matz was diving for it. He was hit from behind when the receiver saw he was never going to get near the ball, and he wanted to make sure Matz wasn't going to get it.
He had great coverage, did Matz on Corey Keys. The pass was just out of bounds. No one was going to catch that one. It's 3rd and 7 for the Fighting Scots of Edinboro. No score first quarter. They have it at their own 49-yard line.
The great receiver, Lateef Walters, as we reported earlier, not here today. And, of course, IUP is without Harold Brister, who apparently gave up football this past week. He just felt that he has not been able to come back to his all-star performance of last year.
Derek McGahee in for IUP defensively.
Lone setback, 2 receivers to the right. Roberts comes out here to the left. On the draw, it goes to Jackson, spins his way, got a first down at the 45. He's at the 40-yard line, and then he is crunched from behind by James Benbow and downed at the 36. First down for Edinboro. Larry Jackson had a hold.
That's vintage Larry Jackson. I thought IUP had him before he made the sticks, but he made a great spin move, eluded another tackler. Benbow came back with help. Benbow took a swipe. He was trying to jar the ball loose, but Edinboro now threatening at the IUP 37.
37-yard line. We've got Jackson officially with 30 yards so far. We'll keep tabs on Jackson and Robinson for IUP today. The 37 of IUP with a 1st and 10 for the Borough. No score first quarter, 9:43 and ticking. Dickerson out of Stowe Rocks, a senior, with a lone setback, and he gives it to him and down at the 35-yard line. The running back in there, the only running back was Tony Brinson, who came in, and he is brought down at the 35, a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. They gave Jackson a break. Now they bring Snyder, the big fullback, in.
And they keep Jackson on the bench. Interesting. He made a great run there, but taking him out for a couple plays here, Jack.
Brinson is a sophomore. He stays at the tailback spot. Corey Keys goes to the right. Terry Roberts out here to the left side. 2nd down. 8 to go. It goes to Brinson. He finds a little bit of room, then it closes quickly, that hole did. And IUP closing it quickly with number 91, Jeff Turnage, on the middle linebacker coming over to make the hit.
Well, both Brown and Turnage really a big hit there to stop the progress at the 33-yard line. 3rd and about 6.5 to go. Arrington is in, Benbow out defensively for IUP, and guess what? Jackson's back in for Edinboro. I didn't think he'd be out too long.
Their offense, 488 yards a game. Total offense is 2nd in the Pennsylvania Conference. Flanker to the left side, split receiver to the right. 3rd down and out of the eye from the 34. Dickerson takes the snap, gives off, fakes on the draw, drops back to pass, and he slings it over the middle. It's incomplete.
Flag.
Now we got a flag as the tight end Henney went down at the 21-yard line. That ball was way downfield, and that Frank Signetti's almost, well, he is on the field a little bit here.
He's saying that ball was uncatchable. And let's see, the officials are discussing it, but there are 2 yellow flags down, and it's going to be uncatchable, I think, if you interpret the Callahan's reaction for IUP. The receiver went down. It was overthrown, couldn't be caught. Good ruling. IUP benefits. I guess that's why it's a good ruling.
Yeah, well, I think so too.
It was a correct ruling.
Everybody knows who we're for, but when you see it on the video, if you watch the game next week, the ball was uncatchable. It was way downfield. And Dickerson, he is so dangerous on the perimeter. That's what IUP has to do. And they want to keep Jackson within the tackles. They don't want him to get outside. So it's 4th down now, 8 to go.
It looks like they're going to go for it, Jack.
Yeah, it sure does. 8:20 first quarter, and we have no score. We've got an official's timeout. So while we have a brief timeout, nothing game, let's take a 30-second break.
Comic Collectors. Patty's Paperbacks and Comics of Indiana has a large selection of new and back-issue comics with subscription and mail order services available. Also, thousands of paperbacks, used CDs, non-sports cards, graphic novels, T-shirts, posters, and games, including Magic. So if you're looking for a full-service specialty store, stop in at one of our 4 locations: Indiana, Altoona, Johnstown, and Du Bois.
During that break, Tom Holman, we were looking at him through the field glasses. He was still bending the ear of referee Dennis DiLorenzo about the lack of a call there. Now Edinboro switches. They put their punting unit on. I was wondering about that gamble. They're going to try to pin IUP deep. Line of scrimmage is the IUP 34, 4th and 7. John Stewart in single receiving safety. Watch for a fake maybe, huh?
And the punter, it took him so long, he finally got in there. He's back at the 50. He'll move up a little bit. That's Scott Rupert. Remember, he's not normally the punter. Today he is the left-footed kicker, and he skies it up there. He's going to hang up. It is going to be a dandy, and it goes out of bounds in the vicinity of the 5-yard line. It'll be the 5-yard line. Great kick.
Yeah, it was. And the wind helped him because it held it back. And then the football hit on the end and bounced just laterally at the 5-yard line. I thought Edinboro should have gone down and trying to catch that ball. They had enough receivers down there because IUP wasn't going to touch it. 1st and 10 for IUP, backed up at their own goal line at the 5-yard line. No score first quarter, 8:13 remaining.
And IUP radio sponsors include Cellular One, clear across America, Sheets open 24 hours a day every day, and Laurel Bank, people you can bank on. So let's watch IUP now from their own 5-yard line with 2 receivers to the right, and the up back is Glass. The tailback is Robinson from the 5. Robinson gets the ball, goes up the middle, and gets to about the 8-yard line for 3. IUP, of course, with a talented offensive line. They have a lot of confidence in them. And underneath is Rich Jones, the 6'2", 310-pound junior who had been injured, activated for today's ball game, and they got him in the game early.
Yeah, they lost Lateef Walters, but they picked up him.
In the secondary, another guy named Steve Russell is their best D-back. He's number 42, and he has 18 career interceptions. He's one-on-one with Henderson. Now the pitch goes to Dennis Robinson around the left side, finds some running room, and he's out close to a first down. We'll see where they put him down. He's close to the 15-yard line. That's what he had to get for the first down. Got some running room that time for Dennis Robinson. I think we're going to have... No, he made it. No measurement. First down, IUP.
That's the first good offensive play IUP has had, and they needed it, Jack. You don't want to be punting out of your end zone here. Field position, very important. This game expected to be offensive explosion by both ball clubs. Thus far, the defense has predominated. No score in the first quarter.
Russell, 25 for 47, 407 yards. That's 53%. 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Out of the eye from the 15, back to the tailback it goes. Robinson has some running room, and they push the Edinboro defense all the way back, and he picks up another first down. Going to be 11 yards for Dennis Robinson, who came into the game with 782 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Defensively in on the stop for the Fighting Scots, Brian Lambert, along with Richard Walker, the free safety.
But take a look at Edinboro's defense. Against the rush, they are 6th. 159 yards a game. Against the pass, they're 2nd, 181 yards a game. And overall defense, number 4 in the PSAC. IUP is number 4 offensively in the PSAC. Some great matchups today. 2 receivers to the right. The slot man is the slot man is Henderson. Hardison to the right. Russell stays on the ground, gives to Robinson, finds some running room, cracks across the 30-yard line. He's down around the 34-yard line. Steve Russell from the secondary made the hit.
Isn't that amazing? A first possession, IUP just couldn't move anything, and now from their 5-yard line, they're running consistently, and Robinson carrying the mail. Third leading ground gainer in the conference, averaging over 100 yards a game.
And great confidence in the offensive line with a hammer, Chris Sledge, and the guards in there, Chris Valario, and of course John Zavatsky, the tackles, Kerry Yacamelli, and Mo Walton.
Do you mix it up here with 2nd and short and go for the pass to try and keep Edinboro honest?
Up back is Glass, the tailback Robinson. 2 receivers to the left side. They fake to Robinson. Bootings to the left side. Steve Russell fakes it downfield. He runs, he slides for a first down at the 40-yard line. That's a dimension, of course, that IUP has against Edinboro that they haven't had in the past. And coming up to make this stop was Michael Edwards, outstanding linebacker from Washington, Pennsylvania.
Excellent play call, and if the pass had been there, Russell could have thrown it, but he just legged it for the first down.
Let's go to the sideline and a report from Doug Steve, brought to you by Indiana Insurance, a place for all your insurance needs. Doug?
Okay, Jack, as you mentioned about the first series, the IUP offensive linemen came off the field very upset with each other for not opening up the holes. The second series, they're doing it so far. Jack Ray back up to the booth.
All right, out of the eye, the fake on the play action. Russell's back. He throws sideline, and it's intercepted. Stepping up and picking it off, and coming over was the quarterback. And let's see who that was. He stepped in. That's Keith Cushenberry. Cushenberry, who throws his helmet. Now, if that's not taunting, I don't know what is. He just threw his helmet.
There it is.
There's a 15-yard. What a stupid play.
Oh, yeah, he threw his helmet about 50 feet in the air. Another player grabbed it. It was like, oh, that's my helmet. Yeah, we don't have enough helmets. Like fun. It's a 15-yard walk-off. Cushenberry made a great interception, Jack, as he just knew where the ball was going, and he cut in front of Hardison, but the unsportsmanlike celebration penalty will certainly hurt Edinboro and move it back 15 yards.
That is a tough pass to throw, and admittedly, Steve Russell does not throw it as well as Ken Ferguson. Ferguson has the stronger arm and can throw that sideline pass, and Cushenberry came in and made the play. But now with a penalty, it will start Edinboro's drive at their own 35. No score, 5:31. We are in the first quarter, IUP in Edinboro. For the loser today, we think that might be Coytons. That might be it, and no playoff, although you just never know. A lot of big games yet to be played. Here we go, and out over the football is Det Betty, a 6'4", 285-pound senior from Brockport, New York. I formation, the up back in the eye This time is Harrison. It is Jackson into the secondary, the 40, the 45. He's across the 50, backs his way to the IUP 45-yard line. Larry Jackson was finally brought down in the secondary. Omar Stewart from his linebacking spot had to get him, and he backpedaled the last 5 yards.
We've seen a lot of great running backs this year, including Roger Graham, the Harlan Hill winner from last year at New Haven. But Jackson's got to be right there, and if not the best, he's certainly right there. That was a 20-yard run. 20
yards for the senior from Penn Hills, who initially wanted to go to University of Florida. He had some grade problems to get squared away. He ended up at Edinboro, and boy, Edinboro's so happy he did. Twins to the right side at the IUP 45. Jackson again lowers his head, spins his way for a couple of yards near the 43, about 2.5 yards on the pickup. Jeff Turnage making the stop on him.
Jackson's not only good on the flanks, running the flanks, he'll get the tough yardage up the inside too.
The blocking back that time, Saul Harrison, who is a 235-pound sophomore, got up a little bit injured. Now they make a change and they bring in Vidal Farr and take out Jackson. They're going to give him some breaks today. It is very warm. Farr is from Aliquippa, and he is now the tailback. Harrison is the fullback. Flanker to the right, second down, 7 yards to go. The IUP 43. IUP jumps offside, and all four guys made contact.
Jody Dickerson with a staggered count there, and IUP another miscue. This 5-yard walk-off will make it second down and short. Well, no score first quarter, 4:28 remaining.
Got to be aggressive, and you got to be controlled with your aggression. And IUP gets a mark off. 4 penalties for 35 yards. Bob Kreinall keeping our stats today. And the ball's at the 38-yard line. Farr goes out.
Brinson is in there. Farr didn't even get a chance to run a play.
Second down and 2 at the 38. Boy, this could be a real free play. They play it tight with 2 tight ends and an eye back. They just go to the deep back. Brinson, he's tripped up and goes down right around the line of scrimmage.
Andre Hilliard got a piece of him.
Andre Hilliard, who has, as a defensive player, 3 touchdowns this year. He is second in tackles to Omar Stewart. It's third down now. And the ball just outside the 37, 3rd and 2.
And re-enter Larry Jackson. You think he might get the call on this one, Jackson?
He's had a few carries in his time, that's for sure. Henny and Sabo are the tight ends in there. And the big fullback, 235-pounder Harrison, in front of Jackson. 3rd and 2. The deep handoff goes to Jackson. Tries to slant. Great play by Ruben Monroe. Cut him down. Picked up a yard. He's pretty close. But Ruben Monroe made a terrific play.
Turnage helped out too, Jack. He's going to be short about a yard. I think they're going to go for it here. It's scoreless in the first quarter with 3:27 remaining.
4th down and almost 2 to go at the 37. What are they going to do? Rupert had the good kick a while ago, but you only get so many chances, and they're going for it. They send Corey Keys out here to the left. Harrison is the fullback. Watch Dickerson. He can run, too. And Jackson is the top of the tandem. 4th and 2. Crowd getting into it. The give is to Harrison. Harrison right side. And Harrison pounds his way for a first down. Saul Harrison, the up back, getting the call that time. And he got almost 3 yards on the play.
Jack, I think he fumbled the ball, but it went out of bounds. But it's enough for a first down for Edinboro as the referee, Dennis DiLorenzo, signals thusly to keep the drive alive. It started at the Borough 35-yard line following the interception by Keith Cushenberry.
Under 3 minutes and ticking, nothing. He did get 3, and it goes to the 34. Jody Dickerson has double tights. Snyder back in at the fullback spot. Jackson is the tailback. From the 34 of IUP, faking, rolling to the left side, setting up. Marshall is after Dickerson. Dickerson running at the 40, picks up a block, and he just steps out of bounds at the 32. Pretty good comeback block over here by the big tackle on Mike Marshall, and that was not the tackle, but the center, Betty. And Dickerson, as we mentioned before, has great mobility, picked up a couple of yards to the 32. You got to try to contain him.
Well, containing him for a 2-yard gain is good. Second down and 8.
Yeah, because he really has great talent. Total offense per game, 207 yards a game for Jody Dickerson, who has thrown 12 touchdowns and 8 INTs. At the 32 of IUP, flanker to the right, out of the eye, it goes to Jackson. He gets inside, spins, and got some nice yardage after he initially got hit around the 30. Mike Marshall finally brought him down at the 26. But again, he showed some good inside moves. That spin move
He just shed a tackler with that spin move initially, and he got 5 down to the 27, bringing up 3rd and 3.
Harrison going out. And a wide out into the game. That's the fellow from Penn Trafford, Penn Trafford, Jeff McIntosh. He is a slot to the right, Corey Keys to the right. 3rd down and 3 at the IUP 27. Jackson is the lone setback. Stewart running around on defense, getting in position now. Jody Dickerson takes the snap. Short drop, the pass is caught. Corey Keys has a first down, and IUP having a tough time getting the 225-pounder down in the vicinity of the 21-yard line. First down, Edinboro.
A lot of people here from Edinboro. See Bill McDonald down in the crowd, former assistant coach at IUP and a coach at Edinboro.
And we will have at halftime, we've offered an invitation there to Todd Everly, the commissioner of the PSAC, to come up and join us. A little tough getting to the booth at times.
Yeah,
but
it is.
We'll see if we can get him up here. He and Steve Murray, who is the public relations man, state the SID for the entire conference here today. First down. 1st and 10 at the 22 of IUP. Out of the I formation once again. Dickerson goes to his up back. The fullback is Harrison. Harrison is tackled by about 5 guys near the 17, but he's still got 5 on the play. Stewart and Turnage and company.
Well, they've got a nice offense. There's no question about it. You always got to honor the threat of Jackson. Occasionally you run the big guy up the middle, so you keep him honest. Edinboro pounding away on this drive, Jack. It started at their 35 following the interception, then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and Jackson's been featured. He gained 20 yards on the first run, a key 3rd down conversion on a pass, a 4th down run, and they're looking to score first here.
They've had the ball over 4 minutes in this drive. Split backs this time. Dickerson on the little shovel pass to Jackson, and Jackson slides his way inside the 15. He's down around the 12-yard line. We expect to see this play from IUP today. We've got a flag on the other side of the field, though.
We do indeed at the start of the play. That's a nifty little play. Offside against IUP will be the call. Too many penalties hurting IUP here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we've got 5 against IUP. If this one is taken, of course, that'll save them a down.
I think they'll take it. Even though they gained about 6, they'll maybe accept 5 and save a down.
Jody Dickerson coming up there and says,
offside is indicated against IUP.
and they walk it off here. 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Edinboro threatening. They started on their own 35-yard line at the 5:31 mark, and here we are over 4 minutes later, and they are threatening IUP, and IUP's had some penalties that really have hurt.
And you're listening to IUP football on 1160 WCCS in Homer City with Jack Benedict and our sideline reporter Doug Steve. Ray Goss reporting to you from George P. Miller Stadium. Great day for football, but right now Edinboro looking to score first.
2nd down and 2 at the 12-yard line. This time with an offset backfield with Jackson and Harrison in there behind Dickerson. Keys is split to the left side, flanker to the right side. IUP almost jumped offside again. It goes to Jackson. Jackson will get a first down. There's a flag in the play. Jackson carries to the 5-yard line.
They did jump offside.
There's
Then
another
flag late.
Yeah.
Let's see what that one's about. As Travis Matz pulls Andre Hilliard away from the pile. Jackson got it down to the 5 for 1st and goal, but there are 2 penalties here. One of them a live penalty at the start of the play. I think the second is a dead ball foul, so let's see how they unravel it. Offside against IUP, the first indication. The second one, unsportsmanlike conduct against IUP. So they're both against IUP. And now let's get on the sideline for a report. This one brought to you by People's Bank, a bank backing the best. IUP Athletics. Here's Doug Steve.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Right now, Andre Hilliard is just too emotional for this game. He had the one 15-yarder early in the game. He got called for the offside 2 plays before, and now he got another 15-yarder. Coach Eddie's pulling him out and really telling him, hey, Dre, you just have to play football and don't worry about everything else. Jack Ray back upstairs.
And it's going to take it down to the 3-yard line, 1st and goal to go for Edinboro. This drive started at their 35. No score, 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
On my way up, back up to the press box, I saw Joe Beje, and he said, what do you think about the game? And I said, one thing, got to stay away from penalties. And boy, they have really hurt. IUP committing all kinds. Here we go, goal to go for Edinboro. I formation. Top of the tandem back there is Jackson. The up back is Harrison. Pounds his way near the goal line. Still going in. He got in. Touchdown Edinboro. 65-yard drive. And Harrison scores. 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And Edinboro has taken a 6-0 lead. They went to the big 235-pound up back. And Harrison scores. And a lot of defensive mistakes by IUP on that particular drive. And the Borough draws first blood. Now their kicker is Scott Rupert. Rupert is 26 for 31 this year in extra points. Left foot kicker. And the PSAC Baseball Player of the Year, a great shortstop, great infielder. Holding will be Chris Hart. He is the backup quarterback.
He's a left-footed kicker, Jack.
Lefty in there. Let's watch the snap. There's the snap. Ball is down. The kick is up there, end over end, and the kick is good. Timeout. 7-0. Edinboro leads IUP. 14 seconds to go in the first period. We'll be right back.
Myron, you wouldn't believe the excitement during Black and Gold Rush days here at Luther Ford. Everyone's rushing down for great deals on specially marked new and used cars and trucks, like the all-new 95 Ford Contour, automatic AC, AM/FM cassette, now only $14,995. Or the 95 front-wheel drive Windstar 7-passenger van, loaded only $18,995. They're blitzing them with the 94 Ranger XLT, now only $99.95. Don't pass up the savings during Black and Gold Rush days, going on now at Luther Ford in Homer City.
Speaking of time, Edinboro took a lot of time, but they put some points on the board. They score with 14 seconds to go in the quarter, a 65-yard drive. Saul Harrison 3 yards for the TD. Extra point by Rupert, 7-0 the Borough.
All right, and ready to go, and kicking to Vaughn Mosley and also Ton Henderson back there. And the kick will be by Eric Wagner. He had been the punter. It's going to be a bounding kick taken on the hop at the 5, the 10, the 15. It's Mosley, the 20. Comes along the near sideline. They bounce him into the IUP bench. And he'll be in the vicinity of the 25-yard line. So IUP with 9 seconds left in the first quarter, trailing by a 7-0 count, will get the football. They just have to play more disciplined defensive football, or they'll get wiped out. 26-yard line.
6 penalties thus far against IUP for 60 yards.
Sometimes that's all you want. Don't even want that many in an entire game. That's one quarter. Twins to the left in Henderson and Hardison. The up back is Campolo. Dennis Robinson is the tailback. And Steve Russell in at quarterback. His team trailing 7-0 from the 26. The deep handoff, Robinson, and cutting in was Pat Schuster. He submerged, came in. He's their number one man on defense up front, and the quarter's going to end on that tackle by Schuster. Edinboro leads 7-0 over IUP. We'll be back with the second quarter right after these messages.
At S&T Bank, we know there's no limit how far you can go with the right kind of teamwork. And that's why we're proud to be a sponsor of IUP football. And it's why we view our relationship with you and every other customer in our community as one of teamwork. At S&T Bank, we can make it possible.
Getting ready for the second quarter. Let's go to the sideline and pick up this report brought to you by Indiana Insurance, a place for all your insurance needs. Doug?
Okay, thank you, Jack. A lot of former players, IUP players, Jamone Smith, Reese Brown, Michael Mann on the sideline, and they're telling the defensive players, hey, you have to hit hard out there. This isn't any game for babies right now. You have to put your helmet into the offensive player, try to get force a fumble or something. So even the former players are really into the game on the sidelines. Jack, Ray, back upstairs.
All right, Ray, and here we go with the second period.
First down for IUP, and Russell takes a snap, gives to no one, rolls to his left. He's being chased, but gets a good block from Iacomelli, runs across the 20, on his feet at the 25, spins to the 30, and leans to the 31-yard line. Nice move by Steve Russell.
Oh, great move on. Al Bass was coming over to make the hit on the quarterback. You know, defensive players love to hit the quarterback, but that spin move was a beauty by Steve Russell, and he moves it out to the 31-yard line. Steve, so far this year, 18 rushes for 132 yards.
And he gives a big thank you to Kerry Iacomelli, who came out and gave him a nice block.
Yeah, he did. I watched it. It was on Schuster, who was really on the blind side of Russell.
2nd and 5. The only setback is Robinson. Twins to the right. Wide out to the left is Hardison. Russell under center, Sledge takes it straight back to throw, gets excellent protection. Now he's going to run it again across the 30, 35 to the 37. Looks like he has the first down. He took a hit that time, but he got the change as the tackle is made by Michael Sims, a linebacker.
Ray, IUP will not win this game if Steve Russell is the leading rusher. But right now, that's the story because he's had to bail IUP out, and he does pick up a first down.
Campolo in offensively for IUP. Hennigan out of there, so they'll go with the I set, or the split backs as they come out. Campolo the up back. Robinson dots the I. Hardison wide to the right. Henderson to the left. Russell under center, Sledge. Peers around as he calls signals. Takes a snap. Gives off to Campolo. Over the middle he goes. Gets a hole across the 40. Still on his feet at the 45. To the 50. To the 48 of Edinboro. And another IUP first down.
Terrific run. Brian Lambert came over to make the hit, but Mike Campolo, who's just a hard-nosed football player, got some excellent blocks, found that little bit of hole into Edinboro territory at the 48.
Just like IUP keys their defense on the tailback Jackson, Edinboro is watching for Robinson. That time IUP crossed him up, gave him to the fullback Campolo. Twins to the right, same I set. This time it's Robinson over the middle, runs into a whole horde of Edinboro players and skids to a stop after about a half-yard gain at the 47.5.
Yeah, he just didn't have anywhere to go. That was bottled up. Edinboro using a 5-man front, and Jones at 310.
That's who hit him.
Yeah, he takes up a lot of room right in the middle. It's like trying to block the refrigerator.
No gain, 2nd and 10 for IUP, trailing 7-0 here in the second quarter with 13:03 and ticking. Overfull crowd at George P. Miller Stadium. Seats 8,000, we guess 10,000 here at least on Parents' Day. Wideouts both ways, offset I. Passing situation, Russell takes a snap. Straight back, now rolling to his right. Will he run it again? He will. He's across the 45, but that's about it as he's tripped up around the 44-yard line. Short gain for Steve Russell.
Again, Ray, the quarterback carrying the football time after time. And Robinson tried to give him a block, got him a little bit of a brush block, but now IUP's in a third and long situation here.
Campolo will come out of there. They'll go with the 3 wideouts. A little slow getting him in. Hennigan finally joins the team. Still 18 seconds on the play clock as IUP in the huddle at the 44 Edinboro yard line, 3rd and 6. They break huddle. Play clock is down to 9. They're going to have to hustle. Hennigan wide to the right. Henderson and Hardison to left. Play clock at 5. Calling signals. Russell gets it off with 2. Back to throw. Looking deep down, wide open. Henderson makes the catch, makes the move at the 30, 25, 20, on his feet at the 15, tackled down to the 12-yard line. Tawn Henderson on a big 3rd down conversion as Russell put it on the money, and play goes from the 44 down to the 13-yard line, 31 yards.
Henderson had to wait for the ball for just a minute, and coming back to make the tackle was Michael Sims, a linebacker. Some nifty running by Tawn Henderson, and IUP is going to have to get production from the wideouts here today. And the first guy to hug Tawn Henderson when he came off the field was Jamone Smith.
Well, they mark at the 12-yard line, so we'll give him 32 yards on the pass play. 1st and 10 for IUP as IUP threatens to tie it out of the I set. Only one wideout. Running play, it looks like. And it is Campbell over the middle to the 10. Fights his way forward and then submerged right about that spot. Only got a couple. 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Well, I'll tell you, Edwards is all over the place, and also Sims. Sims from Wilkinsburg leads the team in tackles with 84, and he was in. Very active linebackers.
Russell still getting the play call from the sideline, rejoins his teammates in the huddle, but the play clock just started, so he has plenty of time. Ball right at the 10-yard line. We'll have a report from Doug Steve shortly. Hardison to the right. Sadler and McCartney double tight end set. Robinson, the tailback, gets the pitch, swings to the left, looking for a block, gets it from Campolo, cuts to the 5, on his feet at the 3, into the end zone for the touchdown. Dennis Robinson, 10 yards for the score, got a couple of great blocks, made a move, and IUP has scored with 10:53 to go in the second quarter. It is now Edinboro 7, IUP 6.
Another outstanding run by Dennis Robinson. We saw his talents last week on that run, that type of a run, and he staggers his way, then he uses his strength, then he uses his speed, and he got into the end zone. And as badly as IUP has played, it's right there at 7-6 and a chance for John Ruff to tie it up. He's 30 for 31 on the year.
Out of the hold of McGee, Ling the snapper. The ball's on the tee, the kick is on the way, and the kick is perfect. We have a 7-all ball game, and we'll be back for the IUP kickoff right after this timeout.
They're in the attic. They're in the basement. They might even be under your bed. What are they? What do they want? What can we do? They're home movies. Remember them? Don't let your precious family memories literally fade away. Bring your home movies to the experts at the Home Movie Zone. Think of it. No bulky screen to wrestle with, no more noisy projector, and no tangled film. What are you waiting for? Do it today. The memories will last a lifetime.
We're deadlocked at 7-7, and IUP will be kicking off to Edinboro. What a great atmosphere here today. Let's go to the sideline, get a report from Doug Steve. This one brought to you by People's Bank, a bank backing the best IUP athletics. Doug.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Couple things here. Steve Russell is able to run a lot more. Unlike most quarterbacks, he wears a protection around his ribs that's made out of a shoulder pad type of material, heavier plastic, so he's able to do a lot more running. He wears it around his ribs. And the other thing is, talking to Coach Dave Johnson this morning, IUP last year against Edinboro, he was very disappointed with the play of the fullbacks. He said the fullbacks almost cost him the game last year, and that's one thing he really wanted to concentrate this week. He said the fullbacks have to do their jobs this week. Jack Ray, back up to the booth.
Well, Campolo did the job on that drive, not only carrying the ball, but a big block to help spring Robinson
Right,
on that
and
touchdown.
remember, Sean Byro is not here today,
Right.
so there's one fewer fullback. Here we go.
Rough kicking into the wind, and you can see that wind bring the ball down. It'll be grabbed by Jackson around the, rather that is not Jackson, that is the other return man, and he's tackled by Matt Vilcek at the 20-yard line. Taking the kickoff back was Corey Keys.
Outstanding hit by Matt Vilcek. Boy, he put a hard hit, and that's what Doug was talking about before, that the former players were saying, you got a hit out there. This is no tiddlywinks game out here, you know. You got to put some licks on some people, and an excellent coverage by IUP. 7-7 game.
And Edinboro's turn now, as Jody Dickerson will run the attack with Larry Jackson, the tailback in that I set. Saul Harrison is the fullback, twins to the right. At the 20-yard line, game tied at 7. Dickerson, long count, takes a snap. It is Jackson going to the left sideline, trying to turn the corner, and he's run out of bounds. Got a gain on the play, but not that much. Let's see where they mark him out inside the 25. We'll watch for the hash mark as they'll bring it in. Around the 23 or 24. They still haven't put the ball down. They'll give him the 23 and a half. So second down and a long 6.
I don't think IUP minds if Jackson gets his 100-plus yards, which he's done 13 straight games. The thing is, as Coach Signetti said on the pregame, don't give up the big play.
Wide odds, just one to the right side. Jackson dots the I from the 23 and a half. Dickerson, long count. Fumbled the football and dropped on it in a hurry. They lost. So Dickerson, veteran quarterback, fumbled the snap back from center.
Yep, that's the first, I guess the first mistake Edinboro's done today, and they covered that up. And then we got Mike Marshall jabbing with one of the, barbering with one of the defensive players. IUP players take him out of there. They're going to take him out of the game right now. Arrington comes in and said, Mike, you're out. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. That's all there is to it.
That's the second time Travis Metz has been a peacemaker.
And that's surprising because he's a heck of a hitter, but he knows what has to be. Stewart's yelling to the sideline here. All right, I thought IUP only had 10 players. I guess they're okay.
The ball at the 22. It was a loss on the down. Jackson goes in motion to left, 3rd and 8. And back to throw it is Dickerson. Deep drop. They miss him. He gets loose. He runs. He scatters. Matz nails him around the 21-yard line. Travis Matz with the tackle. It looked like he was ready to move down the field. Jackson was behind everyone, but Dickerson was running for his life. 4th down punt formation for Edinboro.
He eluded 3 tacklers, and that time Matz coming back nicely. So IUP's defense holds. If they can keep their composure, you know, they've been playing some pretty good football.
They're fired up, maybe too much so, Jack. Scott Rupert a punt.
Got to back off a little bit.
John Stewart and Vaughn Mosley to receive. Kicking with the wind, it is Rupert. Line of scrimmage at the 21-yard line. Game tied at 7, 9-17 till halftime. On the amazing AM 1160 WCCS in Homer City. Long count. Pass from center is a bit low, but the kick is away, and it's a beauty with that following wind. Stewart has the return, though. No, Mosley takes it at the 35 to the 40 and to the 41-yard line, where IUP will put it in play, and we'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Myron, you wouldn't believe the excitement during Black and Gold Rush days here at Luther Ford. Everyone's rushing down for great deals on specially marked new and used cars and trucks, like the all-new 95 Ford Contour, automatic AC, AM/FM cassette, now only $14,995. Or the 95 front-wheel drive Windstar 7-passenger van, loaded only $18,995. They're blitzing them with the 94 Ranger XLT, now only $99.95. Don't pass up the savings during Black and Gold Rush days, going on now at Luther Ford in Homer City.
The handoff goes to Robinson. Stutter steps through a hole on the right side. Tries to break a tackle. Is nailed around a 43-yard line. Got about 3 yards. The line of scrimmage was officially the 40-yard line for IUP.
And Rashawn Alston, a linebacker, got him. And again, we're seeing IUP go back to basics, depend on the offensive line, and try to run the football. We'll get a report here from Doug after this next play.
One big pass in that drive was to Ton Henderson of 32 yards to keep the drive alive. Game tied at 7, only a single setback, and Robinson gets the call. Bolts over the middle, fights his way forward across the 45 out near the 48. It'll be third down at about 2.5.
Okay, now to Doug Steve with a report brought to you by Holiday Inn. You're in place for the area's best brunch. Doug.
Okay, thank you, Jack. After the last offensive series, Coach Finetti got along with Steve Russell and Ken Ferguson and said, hey, and the bootleg, if they give you the run, continue to run. But on a certain formation that Edinboro's showing, they can go green zero, which is an audible, and Finetti said that play could be there, and it will be a big play if you can audible to it. Jack Ray back upstairs.
Well, this time they go with the offset eye, wideouts both ways, 3rd and 2.5 at the 48. And Russell sprinting out the left side, and he's going to keep the ball. He gets a block at the corner by Robinson across the 50, 45, and wisely runs out of bounds at the 40.
How about a
hit
flag?
out of bounds? The IUP fans want a late hit, but apparently no call is making the hit was Richard Walker.
Oh, that was pretty close. Walker, who had been hurt earlier in the year, got a chance to come back. He's an excellent defensive player, and that was right on the borderline whether we'd get see Edinboro get a 15-yard or not. What a nice block by Robinson.
Oh, was it ever. It sprung Russell for 12 yards and a key third down pickup to keep the drive alive.
Ray, when I was talking to Michael Mann, he said, this team doesn't need me. He said, they got some running backs. He said, they don't need me.
He might find a place for him, though. Twins to the right, out of the I set with Robinson dotting the I. Glass is the up back. Robinson too quick. Russell throws it behind his intended receiver Hardison to the right sideline. Little mix up on the pattern there, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. Hardison's going vertical. He's going upfield, and instead the play was designed to go sideline pass, and they were really on the wrong page.
And he was the primary receiver. The other thing, Henderson went right down the middle. He was wide open over the middle for a touchdown. But the play was designed to go out, and Hardison was open, but he was still running when Russell threw the ball behind him. 2nd and 10. Hardison and Henderson, the H-boys, go to the right. 2nd down at the 40-yard line of Edinboro. The flag as Robinson gets a big hole across the 35 to the 33. I think this one's going to come back.
Yep.
On the draw, Robinson gets 7. Backfield in motion against IUP. Was Robinson leaning or what? It's a close call. This will hurt. Another walk-off against IUP. They had 6 in the first quarter for 60 yards. This will bring up a 2nd down and 15, nullifying a 7-yard gain by Robinson.
IUP football is presented by Titto Beverages, master distributor for Rolling Rock and Anheuser-Busch products. Luther Ford sales. Go with a winner. Go with Luther Ford. At Indiana Hospital, your first choice in health care is the best choice. Indiana Hospital. Well, here's the call against IUP. 7th penalty of the first half against the Indians, and still we're deadlocked at 7-7.
And Vaughn Mosley gives Dennis Robinson a breather, the former Kent State products. They both transferred here this year from Kent State. 7.5 to go in the half. Game tied at 7. Hennigan comes to the left. Hardison and Henderson to the right. The single setback is Mosley. 2nd and 15. Russell under Sledge, the center. Takes a snap. Straight back to throw. Coming out of the backfield, Mosley gets it, but they got him and nail him. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did, for a loss of 5 on the play. Boy, they had that play spotted. It's coming up all the way was Keith Cushenberry, who made the interception earlier.
Trying to set up the screen over here. Mosley juggled the ball, and then he was hit immediately by Edwards, and the ball's right at the 50-yard line. IUP's going the wrong way. 3rd down, 20 to go here. Under 7 minutes in the first half. 7-7. Edinboro scored first. IUP came back. We've had drives of 65 and 74 yards by these two teams.
Beautiful day for football, but there is a breeze that's blowing into the faces of IUP here in the second quarter. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Hennigan is to the right. As back to throw it is Russell. Good protection. Now he steps up. He's going to run the football. 50, 45, room at the 40. Chased out of bounds around the 35. Hard hit, and it'll be 4th down and about 4 or 5 for IUP.
What great running by Steve Russell. Changed hands as he was going from one would-be tackler to another, directed traffic and trying to get blockers out in front of him. And Russell, he's been the main man here this afternoon.
Do you go for it, Jack? 4th and 4. Big decision by IUP. They're going to call a timeout, maybe to think about it?
I think that's good to take a timeout.
Yeah, exactly. They got him to use. Why not burn one? 6:03 to go in the half. Game tied at 7. Big decision coming up for IUP. Back after this.
At S&T Bank, we know there's no limit how far you can go with the right kind of teamwork. And that's why we're proud to be a sponsor of IUP football. And it's why we view our relationship with you and every other customer in our community as one of teamwork. At S&T Bank, we can make it possible.
6:03 to go. It's a fourth down play coming up. We're going to go to Doug Steve here with a quick report brought to you by Indiana Insurance, a place for all your insurance needs. Doug, fourth down coming up.
Okay, thank you, Jack. One thing here is the one hesitant for is the 25-second clock is down to IUP's end zone. The other thing here is they have a little smash route they have right now, and it's if everything works well, they're going between the smash route and the quarterback draw. But they feel the smash route's there, and they're looking for a little small 5 to 10 yard pass, preferably the tight end. They feel the middle is open for the tight end, so look for that's what the call is, 89 smash, which is a small intermediate pass. So let's look for that play. Hopefully it materializes in this big fourth down play. Jack, Ray?
Okay, and those clocks are out, as Doug mentioned. So let's watch it here. Fourth down and 4, long 4 to go. It's the 34 of Edinboro, 7-7 game in the second period. Russell still looking to the sidelines.
That's amazing. After the timeout, they decide everything. Then they go out and still maybe communicate some information depending on the personnel Edinboro has on the field. Hennigan to the right, Henderson and Hardison to the left. Russell, 4th and 4. Back to throw. Fires, sideline. Hardison makes the catch. Good catch. He's knocked out of bounds. A leaping grab by Mario Hardison.
Beauty.
What a catch.
Excellent. He's only 5'6" or 5'7", but he's got great leaping ability. Someone told me, watch him on a basketball court. He can dunk. He didn't have to dunk, but he hauled it in for the first down.
Oh, my. So it wasn't the tight end over the middle, but it worked to the 28-yard line. He is so small. When that ball was thrown, I thought there's no way he can catch that, but he did.
Yeah, and he got the job done.
Robinson gets the head up, and he is hog-tied and tackled right at the spot. How about that grab? Who was the defensive ball player that nailed him?
That was Schuster.
Wow.
Schuster's their best defensive lineman. He's got the most sacks, and he's a 230-pounder from Bradford. And I guess if you can survive winters in Bradford, then you become a pretty tough player. But we've watched him a few years. He is an excellent player.
2nd and 10 for IUP. Hardison and Henderson to the right, out of the I set. Russell, the quarterback, under sledge, takes a snap. Gives it to Robinson. Over the middle, across the 25, down to the 20, around the 19-yard line. Close to a first down, maybe about a yard short. Good trap block as they, Kerry Iacomelli took out their big guy, Rich Jones.
Yeah, who's just getting up, the 310-pounder. Yak, of course, the senior from Norwin. And the offensive line has great pride in their veterans, and that means so much. Now we're going to see McCartney come in at a tight end in Campolo, and Henderson out because we're at 3rd and short. Robinson out.
Campolo, many times, Jack, gets the call here on 3rd and short. They'll go with Danny Glass and Campolo in the offset I. 3rd and short at the 19-yard line. Instead, it's Russell backpedaling. Boy, they dive on top of him, don't they? He was a target there as he had his back to the ground and was trying to keep his legs turning. I think he may have gotten it. It's going to be close.
Yeah, they're going to unravel and unstack here. Russell electing to take it himself. And we're going to get a measurement. So as we do, let me bring you up to date on something. Once again, Luther Ford Sales is pleased to contribute to the IUP Business Scholarship Program. For every point IUP scores this football season, Luther Ford will donate $7 to the IUP Business Scholarship Program. Thus far this year, IUP has scored 276 points, which means Luther Ford will contribute $1,932. A commitment to excellence, IUP and Luther Ford Sales. Go with a winner. Go with Luther Ford, Route 119 South, Homer City. First down, IUP, Steve Russell.
By a football length. He didn't get a great spot, Jack. I was concerned they might have had to go up 4th and inches there, and that can always backfire on you. The ball at the 18-yard line. IUP tied with Edinboro 7-7, 4:04 to go in the half. The pitch to Robinson, sweeping the left behind Glass's block if he can get it. They've got him, though, and he manages to come forward for a couple to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and Schuster grabbed him by the shirt. Came up with air, and he was really disgruntled on that play because he didn't hold on to Dennis Robinson. You got to get a good grasp on him.
Gain of only 2, 2nd down and 8 for IUP. Well, they're certainly in rough range here, although he'd be kicking to the wind, but IUP wants a touchdown. Comparatively low-scoring game thus far at 7.
Yeah, it is. You've got the top 2 scoring teams in the conference here.
From the 16-yard line with open field to their right. Good time-consuming drive by IUP. The handoff goes to no one. Russell keeps it. He has Hardison open, guns it over the middle, incomplete. He went for the goal line, and Sadler was there, but he was double covered. And I would tell you, Mario Hardison is pointing to himself. He was wide open at the 10-yard line with no one in front of him.
Steve Russell threw into a crowd. I mean, there were a lot of people. He really did. He got away because Cuchenberry almost got another pick. He was coming out of nowhere. And now we've got a third down and long situation. Of course, waiting in the wings and warming up, you got John Ruff. I think, and you take a look at the kickers today, overall, the kicking game, IUP has the advantage.
This drive started from the IUP 40-yard line. 3rd and 8, though, at the 16. The fake, no, it is a draw to Robinson. Breaks a tackle. 15, 10, down the 5. Touchdown, Dennis Robinson. He goes all the way 16 yards for the score. And IUP leads it for the first time 13-7 with 3:10 to go in the half.
Edinboro fans and Edinboro coaching staffs have to say, where in the heck did they get this guy? You know, we thought we got rid of Michael Mann after all those years, and Robinson was not even on the roster last year. He comes in late, and he has just been a gold find for IUP. He has 2 touchdowns today. He has 10 on the year, and right now IUP is winning the battle of the tailbacks, and they are winning the score here, 13-7.
Oh, that was a great run. We knew he was going to get some yardage, but he broke the tackles to go the distance.
We got Doug Steve along the sideline with a report brought to us by...
They're going for 2, Jack.
Okay, hang on, Doug. We'll get you. Hang on.
Well, let's give it to him quick. Doug, go ahead.
Okay, that was not a touchdown. They rolled Robinson out of bounds at the 3-yard line, so it's 1st and goal from the 3.
Oh, thank you. Now Robinson will try it again, and this time he doesn't make it. Boy, we had him in the end zone.
That's what...
And when they spotted the ball at the 3, we thought it was the extra point. Thank you for that report.
Yeah, and down in that near corner down where Doug is positioned, it's apparently where he stepped out of bounds. So it is at 7-7. Let's just go back to where we were here, and that actually was a good stand by Edinboro because now the ball's at the 4. 2nd down. Let me take this off. Well, I'll hold it in there. Maybe Robinson will score anyway. Yeah. Stepped out of bounds on the near side. We didn't get a look at it. Robinson comes out.
I'll tell you what, Jack. That's my fault because I did not see any hands go up. I just saw Robinson go in the end zone. But he did step out, according to the official. It's a double tight end set. IUP jumped offside, or the movement by Iacomelli on the left side of the line, and this is backfiring, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm going to erase what I had here because now the whole strategy has changed with that penalty.
Well, it's a good thing we have Doug Steve down at the sideline there because he kept waving frantically. I knew he wanted to tell us something, and it was quite important. The score wasn't 13-7. It's still 7-all. The ball at the 9-yard line. That's the 8th penalty for 70 yards against IUP. Now it's 2nd and goal at the 9.
Oh, that's incredible. I know, and I looked on the scoreboard. I saw 7-7, but once in a while, in the enthusiasm, it takes a little while to get the scores up there. So now, 2nd and long at the 9. 2:18 and ticking till the half, right?
Mosley's in a tailback passing situation. Whistle sound. What's the call now?
I think IUP maybe took a timeout. No,
Edinboro called the timeout, so there's a pause on the action with 2:13 to go in the half. It's tied at 7. Back after this.
They're in the attic. They're in the basement. They might even be under your bed. What are they? What do they want? What can we do? They're home movies. Remember them? Don't let your precious family memories literally fade away. Bring your home movies to the experts at the Home Movie Zone. Think of it. No bulky screen to wrestle with, no more noisy projector, and no tangled film. What are you waiting for? Do it today. The memories will last a lifetime.
All right, we're back with you, Jack Benedict, Ray Goss, Doug Steve, and we do have a report from the sideline. This report brought to us by People's Bank, a bank backing the best. IUP Athletics. Doug?
Okay, thank you, Jack. What happened to that one touchdown player called back? The one official got bumped, so he couldn't make the call. The back official came in and said he stepped out of bounds, which was the right call. But this play right here is their Denver call, they call it. They're going to look for either Tawn Henderson or Mario Hardison as their key receivers. But if the tight end is open, they're going to get it to him. But it's either Tawn Henderson or Mario Hardison on their Denver call.
All right, Doug, good enough.
Is that John Denver or Denver, Colorado?
From Denver to Indiana. Let's see if it works.
Mosley dots the I from the 9. Back to throw Russell. He loops it deep in the corner. Wide open. Touchdown, Henderson. This is a touchdown. Unless there's a flag. Let's wait. Yes, I see the hands up. IUP leads it now 13-7 with 2:08 to go in the half.
He was wide open. Absolutely wide open. And all Russell had to do was just loop it up there and get it to him, and Tom Henderson pulls it in. He has his 5th touchdown on the year, and now we've got a 13-7 game, and now John Ruff will be in there with McGee holding. That is a 60-yard drive.
That's right. We wondered why they were going for 2 points. They're only going for 1. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. IUP now leads at 14-7 over Edinboro here.
Myron, you wouldn't believe the excitement during Black and Gold Rush days here at Luther Ford. Everyone's rushing down for great deals on specially marked new and used cars and trucks, like the all-new 95 Ford Contour, automatic AC, AM/FM cassette, now only $14,995, or the 95 front-wheel drive Windstar 7-passenger van, loaded only $18,995. They're blitzing them with the 94 Ranger XLT, now only $99.95. Don't pass up the savings during Black and Gold Rush days, going on now at Luther Ford in Homer City.
An outstanding tradition. And we're also a winner in the classroom, adding character development to learning for a tradition of excellence in both academics and athletics. On the field or in the classroom, IUP is a winner. And that's why supporting IUP is an investment worth making.
Your first time as a Junior Achievement Elementary School volunteer can be a little scary. Can you get kids that young to think about their futures? Call us about volunteering, and you'll see. We'll supply you with training for this new program, and the kids will supply plenty of motivation.
So, whose influence are you under?
Ruff gets the signal from the referee, Dennis DiLorenzo, and approaches the ball at the 35. Swings the right leg, gets it high and very, very short. This is going to bounce.
Free ball.
It's a free ball, and it's taken out of bounds. There's a wrestling match at the 30-yard line. Vielchek, one of the Edinboro players, but it was knocked out, so Edinboro will not get a return. They'll have it at the 25. That's rather effective kickoff, really.
Yeah, it is. To keep it away.
There's a flag down.
Flag?
Yeah. Against IUP. It may have gone out on its own, or is he calling an offside? The referee has another flag against IUP. Maybe IUP will use their allotted number of penalties in the first half, Jack.
They already have. They already have.
I mean, for the whole game.
For the whole game. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's going to come back. That was an effective kick because it was short, but it was somewhere in between.
I think it may not have been touched. We couldn't tell from here. I thought one of the Edinboro players touched it because it was a free ball. It landed in bounds and was rather a short kickoff, and IUP was coming down under it, but it must have gotten out of bounds before anyone touched it, and that's what happened. Ruff will kick it off. Actually, it's offside. IUP was offside.
Oh, I was going to say because they would have had the option of bringing it out to the 35 if it goes out of bounds.
IUP was offside.
There's another penalty.
Yeah. 5-yard walk-off. When you precede the go past the line where the ball is kicked from before it's struck by the kicker, you're offside. This could really hurt. Edinboro should get good field position here. But a good kickoff by Ruff. Again into the wind. Keys will take it at the 10-yard line. 15, far sideline 20. Halts, then comes forward, and IUP tackles him around the 26-yard line. Excellent kickoff by Ruff into that wind from his own 30-yard line.
Yes, and the other thing, keep it away from Jackson. Let Keys, who's the bigger man, try to do it. And good coverage by IUP is a very important part of this game.
I think you might see Dickerson loosening up the right arm a little bit here, Jack. He only has a minute 58 to go in the half. He's at his own 27. IUP leading now 14-7 after trailing 7-0 at the quarter.
They only picked up 2 extra yards after the 5-yard penalty, right?
Keys coming wide to the right. Remember, Lateef Walter's not dressed for the ball game. Their best receiver, Jeff McIntosh, is the other wide out. Jackson, the only setback. Dickerson, long count, takes a snap, gives it to Jackson. Left side, has some yardage, spins his way forward to about the 34-yard line. Got about 7. Arrington is one of the players. Turnage takes more than one to get him down usually.
And
Omar Brown is in there.
Excuse me, Ray. The IUP defense is always, they're going to come out real quickly here, Edinboro, so I'll give it right back to you. But they're always up for the big running backs.
Without a huddle as the time winding down here. May have broken quickly. How about illegal procedure?
Oh.
They didn't catch it. Screen pass goes to Jackson. Misses on one tackle, and then he gets a couple of yards on a good hit by Andre Hilliard. Boy, where they have a legal procedure there.
McIntosh.
Yeah, man in motion easily.
In the slot and no call. Turnage came back to make the play. He's all over the field. Timeout Edinboro. 1:20 to go. We'll hold it here as IUP leads 14-7 over Edinboro. They were down 7-0. They have scored the last 2 touchdowns. And, of course, our number 10 in the nation, Edinboro, is number 16. We're going to have Todd Everly, who's the commissioner of the PSAC, join us here in the booth at halftime. He is also the Eastern Regional chairman for basketball. But what a great setting it is today. And it was nice to see a lot of the former players down there. Reese Brown, talked to him. He's working out in the Westchester area. Michael Mann, who said he's still working out. And, you know, maybe somebody would call. You got the Canadian Football League. He said you just never know. And we saw some many other players down there. And don't you think
Gary,
that,
the place kicker?
Yeah, Gary's here. Don't you think that doesn't help the team, too?
Yeah, because they all know these guys. They're winners. And as you said, Doug Steve reported. We're going to go down to Doug for another report here. This one brought to you by the Holiday Inn. You're in place for the area's best brunch. Doug Steve.
Okay, Ray, talking about foreign players, Michael Mann, when he walked in that locker room, you should have seen the eyes on the freshmen, the true freshmen and the first-year guys. They all went up and introduced themselves to Michael. That's what kind of reputation he has around here. Jack, Ray, we'll get Coach Ignetti at halftime.
That's terrific.
Thanks for the reminder. 3rd and 1 for the Scots. Dickerson under center. And he gives it to Jackson trying to get the first down, and he has it as he goes to the sideline and works his way. Did he get out of bounds? He did, around the 41-yard line. The senior from Penn Hills, wise to the ways of running against the clock. 1:14 to go till halftime. Big first down for Edinboro as Benbow and Omar Brown are out. Rusty Arrington is back in, and in the secondary, Derek McGahee for IUP.
Ray, you wonder why Edinboro doesn't open up a little bit more. But again, remember, as we say, Lateef Walters, that's for sure. That's great speed, a great receiver.
Trips to the right, though. This certainly looks like a passing situation. Corey Keys, one of the big ones out here. Dickerson, long count from his 41. Back to throw. Needs some heat on him. Fires it. Man open and caught at the 48-yard line of IUP. Stumbling down, McIntosh made the reception in the open. It's another first down for the Borough to keep the drive alive. 1:08 on the clock. It is stopped while they move the chains, and Edinboro will go without a huddle.
Their field goal kicker, Rupert's longest this year is 32.
But he'll be kicking with the wind if they don't get the score or get close and try the field goal. Back to throw, Dickerson again. Good protection. He'll run out of the pocket. They've got him. And down he goes for only a yard gain, if that, around the 48-yard line. Arrington, Marshall there. IUP trying to get up as on the bottom. It is Turnage for IUP.
Jeff playing a great game. From his nose guard spot, he's all over the place.
And Edinboro will burn another timeout here with 55 ticks left on the second quarter clock, and IUP leading 14-7 over the Fighting Scots. Insurance, a place for all your insurance needs. Doug Steve.
Okay, Ray, going back to the Michael Mann. Just like Jim Haslett, Michael Mann has his jersey, shoes, and a football and helmet enclosed in a locker. The funny thing about it, the locker was vacated during most of the year, or being used. Willie Dotson quit the team, and that was exactly the same locker Michael Mann used during his 4 years here, so it just worked out that way that they were able to enclose that locker after Willie Dotson left. Jack, Ray, back upstairs.
Where else can you get that kind of inside information?
That's locker room information, that's for sure. And it's ironic, of course, Willie Dotson was the understudy. He was the backup to Michael Mann.
Second down for Edinboro at the IUP 48 as Dickerson using that clock judiciously. 55 seconds still left till halftime. Dickerson ever dangerous. He can throw the ball to the end zone from there easily, especially with this tailing wind. Trips to the left. IUP needs to pick one off here or get some heat on it. Instead on the draw, it goes to Jackson. He's across the 45, goes to the outside, gets by Stewart, goes to the far sideline and wisely runs out of bounds at the IUP 38-yard line. On the draw, Jackson gets right around 10 yards. Should have the first down or close to it. Let's see what the referee says. There's a flag down at the 41-yard line. We'll try Try to figure out what that's all about.
Well, the preliminary signal is Edinboro.
Holding
Edinboro.
is the call.
Yeah, John Stewart came over complaining, and
I think that's the guy.
Yep, and they made the call. He was held.
Stewart had a bead on him, and suddenly Jackson got around him, but that's because John Stewart was held. And the walk-off will occur from the spot of the infraction with 47 seconds left till halftime. All the IUP excitement all season long on 1160 WCCS in Homer City with Jack Benedict and sideline reporter Doug Steve. Ray Goss reporting to you from George P. Miller Stadium. The ball moved back to the 49 of the Borough. That'll bring up second down and 13 to go. But more important, the clock. 47 seconds till halftime. Two receivers right, one to the left. Jackson the only setback. Dickerson the quarterback. Straight back to pass, gets a four-man rush. He fires, incomplete at the far sideline. He had a man open, but he overshot him. That was Terry Roberts. It'll be 3rd and 13.
Good pressure from Mike Callahan. Didn't get there, but he did, of course, put a hurry on Jody Dickerson, who has a tremendous arm. I mean, he was a Division I player. He went to Michigan State. He transferred, and Edinboro knew when they got him that they got some kind of player. He is now in his 4th year, and he's been terrorizing the PSAC all these years.
Comes from Stowe Rocks High School in McKees Rocks. Jody Dickerson trips to the right side. 3rd and 13. IUP needs to hold on this down. Is Hilliard going to blitz? He's up there in the line. Now he backs off. Standard four-man rush. They give on a draw to Jackson again, trying to pick up the big yardage. This time he goes to the outside, and he didn't make the sticks as he's tackled around the 43-yard line. Boy, he made 19 different moves there, didn't he, Jack? But finally, IUP's Omar Stewart made the sure-handed grab.
Good call again. This draw call is a good play because you get everybody setting maybe for a pass, and the great running back, 22 seconds and counting.
They're going to go for it. 4th and 5 at the 43. Now they're going to put the punt unit on. They're going to run down the clock. They may not even have to punt it, or they'll take a 5-yard walk-off. 7 seconds and ticking. 6. They're going to try a 61-yard field goal. How about this? Wagner, the place kicker, he boots it. It's going to be about 2 yards short.
Be sure to cover it down there.
It goes in the end zone. And the 61-yard field goal is a little bit short. It's halftime at George P. Miller Stadium.
At S&T Bank, we know there's no limit how far you can go with the right kind of teamwork. And that's why we're proud to be a sponsor of IUP football. And it's why we view our relationship with you and every other customer in our community as one of teamwork. At S&T Bank, we can make it possible.
Okay, and it is Eric Wagner kicking, and it's a squibber. It's going to bounce at the 30. It's still bouncing. Somebody's got to cover it up, and IUP dives on it at the 18-yard line. It was one of those things that was just so slippery, nobody could get to it. Ton Henderson and Vaughn Mosley both diving on it, and IUP covers the ball at their own 18.
Sometimes the worst kicks are the best kicks, huh, Jack? The way that ball bounces around. No return on it. In fact, 18-yard line, pretty poor field position for IUP to get started.
So let's go with the offensive line. The hammer, Chris Sledge, the center. The guards are Chris Valario and John Zavatsky. The tackles, Kerry Iacomelli and Mo Walton. The tight end, Chris Sadler, the right side. The fullback is Mike Campolo. Dennis Robinson, the tailback. Steve Russell, quarterback. The two wideouts to the left are Hardison and Henderson. On the first play, it's a draw to Robinson, and he darts by one man. He got to the 20 for a couple of yards. Pretty tough play in there, and again, coming over to make the stop is Michael Sims.
Some official stats in the first half individually. Jackson rushing 15 for 94 yards, and it was Robinson 16 attempts for 68. Russell 8 carries for 59 yards for IUP.
And the big penalties, 10-2 in favor of IUP. That's where you don't want to be in favor of anything. At the 20-yard line, 2nd down and 8 IUP. From the eye, twin receivers to the left side. Faking, throwing left side. The pass is going to be caught over there by Mario Hardison, still on his feet, and he moves down the sideline, and he is finally run out of bounds and picks up a first down. Great individual move.
Oh, it was terrific. When he caught the ball, a guy just had a beat on him, Jack. I don't know who it was, but it's how he shook him and then broke another tackle. Let's see where he went out of bounds, though.
Rick Walker ran him out. No, he didn't make the first down.
They rule him out at the 26. It'll be 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2, 26-yard line. First possession for IUP. Leading at 14-7. We're just underway here in the 3rd period.
Rather important play early on in the 3rd period, Jack. If IUP can pick up the sticks and at least maintain the ball for a while, that would be important. If it's 3 and out, then Edinboro can tie it back up.
Behind the quarterback, Russell, offset backfield with Campolo and Dennis Robinson. On the sprint draw, nope, they're going to run it. It's Russell, and he finds yardage into the secondary, and he picks up yardage to the 37-yard line. It's going to be a flag because grabbing up around the head area, Michael Sims on the quarterback.
He had him in the back of the shirt around the neck. He threw him down, which was okay, and then he threw him again. You can't do that.
And so now Edinboro is starting to lose their composure a bit, and that was a design play with Steve Russell. We're going to try to run him as much as we can. That's what Coach Signetti told Doug.
He had a wall of blockers in front of him, and the defender, Michael Sims, is complaining. But when you take him down, that's all right. But don't give him another jerk and throw him another couple of yards. It was wide open. It was an obvious call.
Doug, let's go down to Doug, Steve on the sideline with this quick report.
Okay, Jack, really, they didn't get him for the face mask or the grab in the back. What they got is number 44, the linebacker, Edwards. He came in after the play and put his head down into Steve Russell's back. They got him for the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct call. Jack Ray back upstairs.
Well, we stand corrected. It sure looked like they called the first thing.
And the quick pitch. It comes out here to Robinson. Robinson is hit and shot. He got a pretty good shot at the 47-yard line. Coming over again was Edwards, but the guy who got him and stuck him pretty hard was number 4, Marty Williams. Outstanding cornerback. Came up and put the hit on Dennis Robinson. They will put him down at the 47 of Edinboro, and it'll be second down coming up and 10 to go. Good stick by Williams.
And Robinson bounced right back up.
Marty Williams is from Cleveland, Ohio. He's a junior, 5'10", 175. Taun Henderson to the right. He has a touchdown reception today. Hardison to the left side. Double tights with an I formation, 2nd and 10 at the Borough 47. 5 down linemen, 52 defense. It is Robinson, and he is going to be hit, and he will not get anything. They almost dropped him for a loss, but he's dropped at the line of scrimmage, and everybody had that play diagnosed for Edinboro, including Matt Gentile and company. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Definite passing situation. Edinboro responds by putting in a nickel back as they make actually a couple of changes in there defensively as Rashawn Alston.
Big guy Jones goes out, and Davidson, a lineman, also going out. Hustling into the IUP huddle is Dan Glass.
I think they changed the play late. Campolo out of there. The play clock down to 11.
And boy, that's hard to see with the sun over there. I formation, 3rd and 10 from the Edinboro 47-yard line. Steve Russell fakes to Robinson, drops back, looks like everybody's covered. Throws it up for grabs, come back. Oh, Henderson dropped the ball. It went by him, and he had to go after it. It looked like the ball might be underthrown, and then he got by his man, and he reached out for it, but just couldn't get it.
Slipped off his fingertips, and I think it was the following wind. He just didn't judge it, Jack. I think both players thought it was going to be short, but the wind carried it, and Henderson had a shot at a grab for a touchdown, or at least a long gain.
So the line of scrimmage, the Borough 47, Corey Keys is back in single safety to receive. Andre Hildred is the short man. High snap, and there is a flag with a booming high kick. Keys is going to watch it. It will go into and through the end zone. We'll see what the flag's going to be upfield.
It was right at the line of scrimmage. And is it a touchback? Or is it against Edinboro for jumping offside? IUP had 4th and 10. It's against IUP for being offside. So Edinboro will doubtless make IUP punt over again. And IUP could benefit from this, Jack, because the punter, McGee, certainly with the following wind, can easily put it in the end zone again. He'd like to stick one around the 5-yard line. They might take it at the 20.
I think that's what they're going to do.
They're going to do that and feel fortunate to get it at the 20. Edinboro with the ball at their own 20 following the touchback. 12:15 to go, 3rd quarter. IUP leads at 14-7.
And so for Edinboro, up front, they've got Det Betty as the center. The guards are Chris Barney and Chad Wallach. One of the tackles, Tom Lavis, out of Laurel Valley, played for Jerry Page. And Jeremy O'Day is the other tackle on the right side. At the 20-yard line, Chris Snyder, the starting fullback's in there. Fake to Larry Jackson. Dickerson throws a little flat pass. It's complete to the fullback, and Snyder runs out of bounds after about a 4 or 5-yard pickup.
I thought Dickerson will start throwing the ball a little more here in the second half. They went to Jackson. He did well, but they're down 14-7. Jackson with 94 yards rushing in the first half, but Dickerson only 3 for 7 for 19 yards in the first half of this ball game. And on the year, Dickerson 94 for 155 for 1,402 yards.
He's passing efficiency is number 1 in the PSAC. That catch by Snyder was good for 4 yards. That's the 24. Second down and 6 from the I formation again. IUP almost jumping, getting back. Do we have a flag? Jackson gets the ball, and Jackson is hit right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe got to the 25, but not quite. Marshall got him.
And Omar Stewart there also, Jack. Did IUP get back? I don't see a flag. I think they did get back.
They made it.
They were fortunate. The line of scrimmage at 25. It'll be 3rd and 5. Arrington replaces Benbow for IUP defensively.
In the secondary for IUP, the free safeties, Jermaine Wagner. The corners are John Stewart and Cliff Despinosa. And Travis Matz, the strong safety. Third down at the 25-yard line. Receivers left and right from the I. They go to Jackson, tries to go outside, tries to bounce outside. IUP's got him, and he brought him down to the 28-yard line, about a 3-yard pickup.
Omar Brown and Mike Callahan on the big stop for IUP when it looked like Jackson was going to spring through there to get the sticks.
And Dickerson, disgusted, shakes his fist and goes off to the side. And Edinboro just doesn't seem to be in the swing of things offensively, but I tell you what, you got to give credit to IUP's defense.
That's exactly right. IUP only up 14-7. This game is still very much up for grabs. IUP would certainly like to get a 2-touchdown lead.
Rupert is in to kick. He stands and awaits the long snap from Zeckman at his 16.
Remember, he's kicking into the wind.
He's a left-footed kicker. He has it. He gets it out of there, and it's held up by the wind. It's going to bounce straight up and down at the IUP 44-yard line. Good field position, IUP. We've got a 14-7 game IUP over Edinboro. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
They're in the attic. They're in the basement. They might even be under your bed. What are they? What do they want? What can we do? They're home movies. Remember them? Don't let your precious family memories literally fade away. Bring your home movies to the experts at the Home Movie Zone. Think of it. No bulky screen to wrestle with, no more noisy projector, and no tangled film. What are you waiting for? Do it today. The memories will last a lifetime.
31-19. Robinson carries the mail again.
Dennis Robinson on the first play from the 43-yard line, crosses the 45, and he's up to about the 47. Tackle made over there by Edwards, and Dennis Robinson getting the call on the first down. Robinson in the first half, from the IUP statistics, 16 attempts for 68 yards and a touchdown. His longest was 13. It'll be second down and 7 to go on a 3-yard pickup. 14-7 IUP. A little more than 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mario Hardison, the sophomore from Johnstown, to the right. Ton Henderson from Alderdice is to the left. The fullback is Dan Glass, and the tailback is Robinson. Russell's going to fake to Robinson, drops back, the pressure is on, he throws the pass, and it's caught by Sadler, 49-yard line of Edinboro. Just barely took it away from Steve Russell, the secondary man.
He had some heat on him, Russell did. It's a short gain of 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for IUP in Edinboro territory. IUP leading 14-7, 9:54 to go, third quarter.
Looked like that play wasn't going to do much of anything, but Sadler, the tight end, who's been very valuable this year, 14 receptions, 2 touchdowns for 14.5 yards. Now it'll be third down, and IUP needs a first down here with Henderson to the left. Hardison to the right, offset backfield. Glass and Dennis Robinson. Steve Russell is going to sprint to the left side. They're after him. He reverses. He's in trouble, and he goes down back at the 40, and Schuster got him. Leads the team in sacks. That play was defensed beautifully by Edinboro.
Yeah, Schuster had him, turned him around. It looked like Russell might escape, and he didn't, though.
Line of scrimmage will be the 41 of IUP. And McGee is in, number 1 in the conference, 41.3, his longest 78 yards, and that an IUP record last week. Corey Keys is back. He will kick with the wind. The snap is a good one from Ling, and the kick is a boomer. Out there again, it's sailing away from Keys. He goes back, he drops the football, it's up for grabs, and it goes out of bounds. Did IUP get possession? No, they didn't. Edinboro's got it, but again, Keys dangerous on that play. It's back around the 7.
He should have never touched that ball, Jack. He was lucky. They're going to mark it at the close to the 9-yard line now as I put the field glasses on it, but Edinboro in poor field position, but they're still very much in the game, trailing only 14-7.
That'd be a 50-yard kick by John McGee, and of course the wind is helping out today, but he'll take it. So now it's up to the IUP defense, see if they can make something happen here.
Nebraska beat Colorado in that big game, 24-7. Pitt leads Temple in the fourth period, 45-19.
Whew. Out of the I formation, Harrison is the fullback. Jackson is hit and dropped by Jeff Turnage. Jeff Turnage is doing a terrific job along the line of scrimmage.
He is indeed. A gain of maybe a yard on the play, if that. He actually lost a yard.
He lost
Jack.
a yard, yeah. He's back at the 8. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Good penetration by Turnage.
The 235-pound fullback is in there. Now they bring in another wideout. Coleman, Jason Coleman. Let's see where they put him. They put Corey Keys to the left. Coleman, McIntosh is to the right. Coleman lines up as the tight end right side. Harrison the fullback. Fake, rolling to the right side in his own end zone. Throws it away. That pressure by IUP's Mike Callahan.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, he went with play-action fake, and when he spun, Callahan was in his face. Dickerson, who reacted so quickly to avoid the safety, just threw it away along the sideline.
I know the defense feels that it played against 3 outstanding offensive lines in Grand Valley and New Haven and Central State. That has to help them coming into a game like this.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying Edinboro's offensive line's not any good either.
Well, the other thing we always surmised, Edinboro has not played nearly as tough a schedule as IUP.
Now a 3rd down and 11 at the Edinboro 8-yard line. Dickerson looks over his shoulder. He sees Jackson, the ace, back. He drops back. He's near his goal line, and he throws it to the sideline, and it comes out of bounds. No good. Intended for Keys. A bad throw, and pressure again. Arrington.
Rusty Arrington with good pressure. And Dickerson has just not been the Jody Dickerson that leads the PSAC in passing.
So IUP brings John Stewart and Vaughn Mosley to receive, and Rupert's going to be at his end line.
Well, I'll tell you what, IUP should get excellent field position in Edinboro territory, and if they get any kind of run back, they should be knocking on touchdown door.
Rupert actually is a couple of yards in front of the end line. He's not back too deep there.
No, he isn't.
Zeckman's the long snapper. The blocking back is Steve Russell. Watch him. And the snap to him, and Rupert gets it out of there, and he kicks it high, and of course it dies in the wind. It's going to be an IUP bounce. Out of bounds, going to reach 28-yard line of Edinboro.
20-yard punt. Actually, they're going to give him the 29. He'll get 21 yards.
21 yards on the punt, but it dies in that wind. Let's see if IUP can capitalize here at the 8:19 mark.
That's why the punting and the kicking game is so important, and also the wind. The coaches on the field before the game, Frank Signetti, one of the first things he said to me, boy, it's a beautiful day, but we got pretty good wind here. You're very alert to that, and IUP has the wind here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if they can capitalize.
29-yard line of the Borough. IUP goes to work. Steve Russell, he's been the quarterback all day. Receivers left and right. Campolo and Robinson behind the quarterback. Russell gives it to Robinson up the middle, finds beautiful yardage, and he pounds his way down to the 20-yard line, picks up 9 yards on the play behind the offensive line, doing a tremendous job. And it was Sims, or make it Edwards, who came over to make the stop.
When they talk about great runners, they always talk about great vision. And Robinson likes to stutter step a lot. He can stop, he can shed tacklers, but when he sees a hole, he bursts. And that time he just burst.
Yes, he did. 2nd down and 1, IUP. At the 20-yard line, we'll get to Doug Steve after this play. Campolo and Robinson behind the quarterback. The wideouts are to the right side. They go the safe play. Robinson gets a block. 20, 15, 10, 5, and he goes down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. Dennis Robinson got some fabulous blocks. Doug Steve is right there on the scene. Let's go to Doug with this report brought to you by Holiday Inn. You're in place for the area's best brunch. Doug.
Okay, Jack, what I was going to say is when last series when they came off the field and Russell got sacked, Coach Signetti came over to him and said, hey, be ready to go back to that Denver play if they get in that situation again. But with Dennis Robinson running as well as he is this series, they don't have to go back to that Denver play. This is usually Mike Campolo time. Jack Ray back upstairs.
And Robinson has hit 100 yards already.
All right, we'll leave that play in Denver and bring one back here to IUP with 3 men in the backfield and double tights as we go from the 3-yard line with IUP. Campolo battles his ways near the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal. Mike Campolo, short yardage specialist, had 12 touchdowns last year, and the fullback this year has come up with 5 touchdowns. He averages 5 yards a carry. 2nd down and goal. Look through the glasses here. They put it right at the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal at the 2. Under 7 minutes and ticking. 14-7 IUP.
I don't know if you'd see Russell on a roll here.
Full house backfield with IUP. Campolo right side, and he breaks it or not.
They're not going to give it to him,
He
Jack.
looked like he broke the plane,
Oh, my.
and the fans can't believe it. Russell indicates to the bench inches away, and Doug Steve down there I see with his hands going inches away. Davidson, the big tackle, made the stop underneath. 3rd and goal, inches away here.
I love the comments by Bill Otto. Davidson somehow kept it out of the end zone. At least it's not like the EIEIO comment at Pitt Stadium.
Yeah, he gave up his job. Inches away for the touchdown. Russell, right side. Did he get in? Did he? He did! Touchdown. A late call, but better late than never. 20-7, IUP leads Edinboro. 6:05 mark here in the third quarter. IUP going 71 yards for the drive.
And I thought the officials were going to wait to look at the tape of that one before they signaled. My gosh! But IUP gets the call, 6:05 to go, and they spring to a 2-touchdown lead over Edinboro.
John Ruff will be in to attempt the extra point. We're at the 6:05 mark. In the third period, McGee will hold, and Ling will snap. Ruff 2 for 2 today. Snap the ball down. The kick is up there over the band. The kick is good. Timeout on the field. Third quarter, IUP 21, Edinboro 7. We'll be back with IUP football in 1160 right after this.
Myron, you wouldn't believe the excitement during Black and Gold Rush days here at Luther Ford. Everyone's rushing down for great deals on specially marked new and used cars and trucks, like the all-new 95 Ford Contour, automatic AC, AM/FM cassette, now only $14,995, or the 95 front-wheel drive Windstar 7-passenger van, loaded only $18,995. They're blitzing them with the 94 Ranger XLT, now only $99.95. Don't pass up the savings during Black and Gold Rush days, going on now at Luther Ford in Homer City.
Let's go to the sideline and Doug Steve with a report brought to you by Indiana Insurance, a place for all your insurance needs. Doug?
Okay, Jack, what happened in that last quarterback sneak? Steve Russell got in by 2 or 3 yards. The referees were all looking at the pile, but Steve Russell went over the pile, so they didn't know who had the ball. Talking to Michael Mann coming back from halftime, I said, Michael, what games do you remember the most at IUP? And he said the first game would be the New Haven game at New Haven last year in the playoffs. He said that's his most fond memory at IUP. And the second time he said he looked at his program, he pointed, and he said all the games with Edinboro. So anytime you play Edinboro, it's a classic. Jack Ray, back upstairs.
Okay, last year he had 219 yards and 44 carries. And James Benbro's brother is back to receive. Bill Benbow along with Jackson, and it will be Benbow taking the freshman at the 10. This kid's an electrifying runner, 15-20, but he's in trouble, and he'll go down at the 20, about the 19-yard line. Excellent coverage by IUP, and McGahee got him.
And Danny Glass was right there, too. He tried to make something bigger out of it, and he gave a little ground, so Edinboro will start at their 19. Dickerson, boy, they've really had the handcuffs on him thus far. Jody Dickerson for Edinboro.
How long can it continue? IUP defense, they're solid. I tell you, they've been getting better and better, and this is the time of year when you want to peak. McIntosh is to the left, ball at the Edinboro 19. Keys is to the right. Harrison is the fullback, and the tailback is Jackson. Let's see if Jody goes to the air right away. He does. Over here, the pass complete at the 25. McIntosh slips, goes down at the 26, stays in bounds, covered by Cliff Despinosa.
We keep hearkening back to it, but Lateef Walters, a great receiver, not dressed for this ball game. Severely sprained ankle against Slippery Rock last week. I know the IUP coaching staff thought, well, he'll play, but Tom Holman, the coach at Edinboro, said treatment, he just didn't respond well enough. He's not dressed for the ball game.
And that takes away the real deep threat. Corey Keys, he's a talented receiver, but a big receiver. He's to the left. A gain of 7, 2nd and 3. They go to Jackson. 25, they run him out of bounds. John Stewart does. At the 27, it'll be third down here and a couple yards to go for the first down. About a yard or so for the Borough.
Boy, Stewart played that perfectly. He had to fend off the block and just shoved Jackson out of bounds as he ran to the near sideline.
Short yardage man, the big 235-pound fullback Harrison comes in, and another tight end in John Sabo from Uniontown, Laurel Highlands High School. Third down, long yard to go.
If Edinboro can be stopped here and IUP gets the ball again, they could go in with another score and literally put a lock on this one, although Edinboro can score like crazy.
Yeah, they scored 36 points in 9.5 minutes last week. Third down and 1, McIntosh in motion, far side of the field. From the eye, IUP jumps. Let's see if they were
they pulled off.
Pulled off or not.
And then another late flag. The first couple of flags were because of the infraction on either jumping or being pulled off. Then another flag. I think we have 2 different penalties here, Jack. We'll wait for the referee, Dennis DiLorenzo, to signal to the crowd here at George P. Miller Stadium.
Dead ball.
Illegal procedure against Edinboro is the first call. What's the second call? Personal foul, IUP. And that's somebody said something, I think. I don't know, Doug Steve is down there if you'll be able to pick up exactly what transpired.
Fans certainly voicing their displeasure. We've got a large crowd here this afternoon, that's for sure. So the mark-off goes against
Edinboro 5 yards, and then they'll go the other way.
So the 5 yards takes it back to the 23, and now the first down yardage will be the big one, 15-yarder against IUP. That'll take it out here to the 37-yard line. With IUP leading it 21-7. It was 14-7 at the half. Doug Steve has an update, and it's brought to you by People's Bank, a bank backing the best, IUP Athletics. Doug, I'll get to you right after this play because Edinboro's to the line of scrimmage at the 37. 2 receivers to the right. The ace back in Jackson. Back to pass. 3-step drop. Incomplete. And in the range of the passer there was Omar Stewart. Doug, what's up?
Okay, Jack, on that last one, what happens on the procedure call, defensive players are taught to touch the offensive guy to make sure you get the official's attention. They said Mike Callahan gave a cheap shot instead of just touching him, so they threw an extra 15-yard penalty on Callahan. Coach Signetti was very upset with that call. He said in more or less words, that's bullcrap. Jack Ray, back upstairs.
I'd say that's less words because you kind of went around the subject there, Doug. All right, we get the picture. Second down, it's a family show. 2nd and 10. On the draw, Jackson, and they had him wrapped up. He did tunnel his way through, but Turnage is the one who knocked him off his pins. We'll see where they mark him, if he made it to the 40 or not. Jeff, as we said,
he's playing a great defensive
game. All over.
And we'll have our offensive and defensive players of the game, and Jack will be interviewing both of them, along with head coach Frank Signetti following our broadcast. Right now, IUP on top, 21-7, 4:55 remaining in the third quarter.
So at the 39, Edinboro has a 3rd and long. They've got 3rd and 8 to go. I formation. McIntosh to the left. Keys to the right. Jody Dickerson. Dickerson fakes to Jackson. Drops back. Rolls to the right. Sets up not a screen. Jackson drops the ball. Reminiscent of the ball game last year. He mentioned in one of the interviews this week, he said, I dropped a ball in a big play against IUP last year, and he did it here.
Yeah, he had a first down, and he had room to roam. Andre Hilliard was on his back, but he had the ball, and I can still see him running down the sidelines if he catches that one. It was right in his breadbasket.
We've got Jackson with 86 yards unofficially right now, so IUP doing the job on him. And the thing is, getting the ball back. You keep the ball away from the burrow. It'll be 4th down, and Rupert is in. Line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line. Here's the snap, and they're coming, but he got it out of there. And it'll die, and it'll be caught at the 25 and fumbled. It squirts loose. Edinboro's going to, it's loose. It's still loose. Who got it? It's still loose. Edinboro got the ball. About 5 times, Edinboro gets new life. The fumble by Mosley, and the recovery, I'm not sure. The last man up was 47.
Ron Allen Jack. Allen had the beat on it. He tried to pick it up, which was not a good move because he smelled touchdown. Vaughn Mosley bobbled it, and then he finally did fall on it at the 17 IUP yard line. A big mistake by IUP.
It surely was. Now calling upon the defense after they had just relaxed a little bit after the play, and Jody Dickerson and company gets new life at the IUP 17-yard line. Mosley fumbling the ball, and it was squirted about. And finally, Allen came up with it. I formation at the 17. Jackson at the top of the 10. The fullback is Harrison on the draw. It goes to Jackson off the left side. He's got, no, that's Brinson. Brinson, he carries it to the 9-yard line. Tackled by John Stewart, and also Benbow coming over to get him. But they brought in Tony Brinson, and we've
Hilliard is down. Andre Hilliard is injured, so there's a timeout on the field. He's grabbing his leg. 4:08 to go in the third quarter. 21-7 IUP leads it. We'll be back right after this.
At S&T Bank, we know there's no limit how far you can go with the right kind of teamwork. And that's why we're proud to be a sponsor of IUP football. And it's why we view our relationship with you and every other customer in our community as one of teamwork. At S&T Bank, we can make it possible.
It was a knee, but he is up, and he is walking off under his own power. We'll get an update from Doug Steve here in just a while. So right now it looks a little better than it did initially. Matt Vielchek replaces Hilliard in the lineup. The ball's at the 9-yard line of IUP, and it's 2nd down and 2 for the Borough.
Jackson's out of the ball game right now for Edinboro. And replacing him at that tailback spot, it is Tony Brinson, who just ran it for 8 yards on that previous play.
A little surprised Jackson's out of there. He's had a long time to catch his breath. It's 2nd down and 2 at the IUP 9-yard line. Harrison and Brinson behind the quarterback. Keys to the left, and McIntosh is out there to the right. On 2nd down play, Jody Dickerson looking at the IUP defense, showing blitz. Give to the tailback. Brinson finds a hole off the right side. Marshall and Wagner making the tackle on him. Tony Brinson, the running back, sophomore from Pittsburgh Langley. And they're going to, nope, he didn't make the first down. It's 3rd down and about a half a yard to go for the first down. 8-yard line.
They're still walking along with Andre Hilliard along the sideline. Ron Trenny, the trainer, tending to him. We'll get a report from Doug Steve on his condition, see what that's all about. But back to the action.
Boy, if IUP could hold here and maybe only give up a field goal would be. Here is the play up the middle. Oh, they got the fullback and they wrap him up at the line of scrimmage. Benbow, Brown, Vielcheck, everybody in on him.
I think, Jack, they can't afford to go for a field goal, Edinboro. I think they have to try and pick up the sticks. A field goal won't help them too much. They're down 21-7. I know it's still the 3rd quarter, but they need to score.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the period. And remember, Jackson has not been in on this series. He is now, though. It's 4th down and a yard to go at the IUP 9-yard line. Harrison and Jackson in the backfield. Fans getting into a double tight set, receiver to the left. Watch Dickerson. He likes to roll and he likes to run on the perimeter. Long count, trying to dry offside. Pitch back. Jackson in trouble. He goes down. They got him wrapped up. Everybody got him. Great defense by IUP. The defense holds.
Marshall's penetration was the key there. He had nowhere to go, and then he had a lot of help on the play. Big defensive play by IUP to stop Jackson on 4th and 1.5. They throw him for a loss at the IUP 10-yard line. IUP leads at 21-7 with 2:14 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Boy, has this ever been some kind of quarter. And IUP now trying to get out of there, get some running room, leading 21-7 and giving the defense hopefully a time to rest. Glass is the fullback. The tailback is Dennis Robinson. Steve Russell, the quarterback. On the left side is the tight end, Sadler. It goes to Glass, and they hit him and crunch him after about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Middleman in there, Michael Sims and Alston making the stop on Dan Glass, a senior fullback. Couple of yards out to the 12, 2nd down and 8.
Well, they're really checking on Andre Hilliard, and Doug Steve is right there. They're giving him a lot of attention. He walked off okay, but now they're really examining him down along the sideline.
Doug, maybe we'll come down to you after the next play and you can give us an idea of what's up. 2nd down. IUP, 8 to go. Their own 12-yard line. Deep handoff goes to Robinson. Robinson cuts across the grain, and he comes on out for a 1st down for IUP across the 20-yard line to the 22. 1st down for Dennis Robinson, and he took a step to the right and cut across the grain to the left.
And Edinboro, Steve Russell made the stop.
Doug, what's up down there?
Okay, what they're doing is checking with a possible hyperextension. It doesn't look too serious, but Andre Hilliard goes, hey, you can check my other knee. It makes the same sound. So he's joking around down there. He wants back in the game. Luckily, IUP's defense had that great stand. When I get another word, I'll send it back up. Jack, right back up.
Okay, Doug, thank you. Another set of downs for IUP as Robinson takes the handoff from Russell, tackled down around the ankles, and is brought down at the 24-yard line.
Otha Davidson in on a stop. IUP has another injury on the field, Jack. They've had a couple here.
And that's, I believe, the tight end. So we're going to break in the action with an injury. It is the tight end, Chris Sadler. McCartney quickly went in. 1:06 to go, 21-7, IUP leading it. And we'll be back with more IUP football in 1160 after this 30-second timeout.
They're in the attic. They're in the basement. They might even be under your bed. What are they? What do they want? What can we do? They're home movies. Remember them? Don't let your precious family memories literally fade away. Bring your home movies to the experts at the Home Movie Zone. Think of it. No bulky screen to wrestle with, no more noisy projector, and no tangled film. What are you waiting for? Do it today. The memories will last a lifetime.
Chris Sadler, the injured IUP player on the field. IUP with the ball at the 24-yard line. They're in their own territory. IUP leading 21-7 here with 1:06 to go in the third quarter after trailing 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. 2 touchdowns in the second, 1 here in the third, and a terrific stand at the 10-yard line to stop a Burrow drive.
And it appears this is also a knee problem. IUP has had problems at the tight end spots. Todd Shimko's on the sideline and had knee surgery a while back, had won the job. Sadler was looked like he would be the number 2 man. He's a transfer from Potomac State. Then he left the team and came back, and he has emerged as the number 1 tight end. He's being helped off. It is a right knee problem. Chris McCartney has come in to replace him. And the first thing McCartney did is checked with the quarterbacks down here, Russell and Ferguson, make sure he's on the right page. We'll get an update on Sadler as he's helped by Ron Trenny and young Mike Cottle-Nickley over there.
Just judging, of course, Sadler is limping badly as he comes off, whereas Andre Hilliard just walked off.
So we've got second down for IUP, 8 to go, ball at their own 24-yard line. Campolo in at the fullback spot for IUP with Robinson, the tailback, taking the deep handoff, 25, 30, 35, 40. Robinson delivers a blow, and he keeps on going. Man, okay, he's out to the 46-yard line. What a run by Dennis Robinson.
Wow. One of the safeties came up and met him head on, and he just put him down and kept on carrying the mail. Michael Sims was back there to finally make the stop around the 45 for Edinboro.
And I think the collision was with Richard Walker, and he just ran roughshod right over him, just shy of the 45-yard line. Robinson just has so much strength, it's unbelievable. He's not built like a big sturdy back, but boy, can he deliver a blow. First down, IUP.
This drive started at the IUP 10. Campolo outglassing at fullback.
Time of possession eating up the clock, and Frank Signetti signals timeout. We'll hold it here with 22 seconds left in the quarter.
We'll remind you that IUP football radio sponsors include Luther Ford Sales. Go with the winner. Go with Luther Ford, and Tito Beverages, master distributor for Rolling Rock and Anheuser-Busch products. Well, IUP back on the road next week. They'll play Clarion in a 1 o'clock kickoff from Clarion. We'll have the head coach Frank Signetti show on 1160 WCCS in Homer City at 12:30. But still, a quarter and a little to survive here. They lead at 21-7. IUP looks like they have a pretty good one-hand lock on this one, Jack, but still 15 minutes to play.
Yeah, and we just keep thinking back to that comeback by Edinboro, but that was helped out by Slippery Rock too. Steve Russell had a long pass interception, ran it back like 46 yards, and then the punter tried to do what Garo Yepremian did in the Super Bowl and throw a pass, and it was intercepted, and the guy ran it in for 16 yards. We're just double checking Robinson's stats here. 141 in yardage for Dennis Robinson unofficially. That would be 6 games in a row, 100 or plus. Boy, what a find he has been. I got to double check too. He may be over 1,000. Here we go with IUP. New set of downs at their own 45-yard line out of the I formation. Dennis Robinson gets the call. Tries to go outside 45, and he goes to about the 49 for 4 yards on the play. Hog-tied on the play by Jermaine Carswell, who was also a high school teammate of Steve Russell at Penn Hills.
Michael Edwards had some action there too, in on the tackle, and had some words for Russell. Rich Gravine is in playing offensively at the tackle spot for IUP.
And the quarter is over. So IUP leads 21-7 as we go to the fourth quarter. Stay with us for more IUP Edinboro Football in 1160 after this timeout.
Myron, you wouldn't believe the excitement during Black and Gold Rush days here at Luther Ford. Everyone's rushing down for great deals on specially marked new and used cars and trucks, like the all-new 95 Ford Contour, automatic AC, AM/FM cassette, now only $14,995. Or the 95 front-wheel drive Windstar 7-passenger van, loaded only $18,995. They're blitzing them with the 94 Ranger XLT, now only $99.95. Don't pass up the savings during Black and Gold Rush days, going on now at Luther Ford in Homer City.
Jack Benedict with Ray Goss and Doug Steve on the track, which is going to be replaced next year, along with other things here. Doug?
Okay, Jack, right now, injury update. Andre Hilliard, a slight left knee hyperextension. He's okay. He'll go back in. Not so good for Chris Sadler. He has a right medial ligament strain.
Oh.
He's just out for the game, and they don't know if any much further than that, but they'll find out. Jack Ray back upstairs.
And Robinson on the carry, making some moves across the 50-45, has a first down at the 43-yard line of Edinboro, making those stutter step moves of his and making people miss.
We double-checked on the yardage. On that play, what did he get? 7 yards on that play? He's up around 930 in his career. Remember, his career is this year. I mean, he just came in this year. And when he goes over 1,000, he will be only the second back to join Michael Mann, 1,000 or more in a season.
And Michael Mann's number retired here just before the ball game. Twins to the left, out of the eye set. Russell, the quarterback, gives off to Campolo, comes over the middle, gets a couple of tough yards. Well, he leaned forward, got to about the 40, has about 3. We'll see where they spot it. Defensively, a stop made by Rich Jones, a big 300-plus lineman. They actually move it back now, a yard to the 41. It's a 2-yard pickup, 2nd down and 8, as Mosley gives Robinson a breather at the tailback spot. Well, the defense saved Mosley's bacon there when he fumbled that punt, and Edinboro had great field position at the 19, but IUP came up with a stand and stopped Jackson at the 10-yard line, and now IUP on a drive from their own 10. We're into the fourth quarter, and IUP leads it 21-7. From the 41-yard line, 2nd down and 8, open field to the left, out of the eye set with Twins to the left. Russell takes a snap. He gives off to Robinson, or rather Mosley, on the deep draw handoff, and he fights his way just barely back to the line of scrimmage, as Edinboro was ready for that one.
Well, what IUP has to do, of course, is eat up some clock, try to get some first downs here, and keep the ball away from Edinboro so Dickerson, who's having a bad day, doesn't get a big play, and Jackson, who's always a threat. Just keep it away from them, and the offensive line try to wear people down.
Campolo to the sideline, a little slow getting the play, and Hennigan comes in. Play clock is 17 as Hennigan joins the huddle. IUP breaks huddle with the play clock down to 10. Sledge out over the football. Russell looks at the play clock. It's at 5. Still has time as he backpedals. 5 receivers going out. Russell's in trouble. He slips away, though. He stops and throws to the sideline. He overthrows his receiver, Henderson. He just threw that one away. How he avoided a sack was miraculous, so IUP will punt.
Yeah, at least he got it out of bounds and avoided the sack, as you mentioned. Leave it up to McGee here. And John, see if he can get one in and pooch one in somewhere.
Line of scrimmage, the Edinboro 42. Keys, the single receiver. McGee will be kicking into the wind here in the fourth quarter. Ling to snap it. Good pass from center. Kick is away. Into that wind. Keys is going to wisely let this one go. IUP will try to down it. Batted by Monroe. Batted by Stewart. And down around the 1-yard line, it appears. A double bat before they got into the end zone. They played it perfectly. IUP.
That's the play they needed. Terrific coverage by the special team. McGee put it up there high enough that it got caught in that swirling wind. And then about 3 players down there to cover the football. Terrific play by the special teams. 2-yard line are going to mark it.
The way they rule that, of course, they were down there quickly, but if your momentum carries in the end zone, you can, if you carry the ball in, it's a touchback. So first, Ruben Monroe batted it before he went in the end zone, and then Stewart batted it, and then they downed it. They're going to call it at the 2.
Well, it's up to the defense. Matt Vilcek remains in at a linebacking spot, the senior from Homer Center for Andre Hilliard. He's on the left side.
Jody Dickerson with his tailback. Jackson lining up deep in the end zone, takes the handoff, comes over the middle, fights his way forward across the 5 out to about the 8 or 9 yard line. Larry Jackson still running hard. Defensively, Omar Brown is there, Matt Vilcek, Omar Stewart, and they're still unpiling, and Ruben Monroe up from the secondary. Vilcek in there for the injured Andre Hilliard, who claims he's ready to go back in if they need him.
One of the tackles, Chad Wallach, got up slowly for Edinboro. They lost 2 conference tackles from last year. Mike Kegeris and Tony Ty. They were big and they were good.
2nd and 3 at the 9 for Edinboro. Dickerson takes a snap. Again gives to Jackson, sweep to the left side. Has yardage across the 10, breaks a tackle, and has a first down as he is rolled down at the far sideline around the 20-yard line in that vicinity.
I saw the signal where, I believe, he stayed in bounds, so that'll keep the clock going. The clock, of course, will be a big factor here.
Omar Brown in again on the stop for IUP at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 to go for the Borough, trailing 21-7.
Pardon me. We don't want to see what happened a couple years ago when IUP had to come back from 21-7 and tied at 21. I was on the DL that day.
I know you were.
And I tell you, it was nice enough to come back for the tie.
Dickerson. Play action. He's going to throw if he can get it off. He steps up in a pocket. He'll run the football. And he has some running room. Now he's tackled as he crosses the 20 out to the 23-yard line. That's Andre Hilliard back in there, made the tackle.
He just went in right before that play. Made his presence felt in a hurry.
So only a 3-yard pickup. I'm amazed the job IUP has done on Dickerson. He just has not had time to throw, or he's not hit his receivers. Second down and 7 at the 23-yard line. I make it about 6 because the original line of scrimmage was the 19. Give Dickerson 4 on that scramble. Out of the I set again. Takes a snap. Draw. He gives off to Brinson. Brinson breaks one tackle, but Turnage has him and throws him down for a loss on the play.
Great play. Jeff Turnage again. All over the place today, doing a terrific job. We've got Dickerson with 29 yards passing.
Wow.
Now Benbow's coming out, and Arrington, who will, of course, has some speed there, will give you a pass rush coming in. We're under 11 minutes and ticking. And this is a big third down play here for the Borough. They got to try to keep things going. See if IUP can hold again.
At the 22, a loss of 1. 3rd and 7. Despinoza and Stewart at the corners for IUP. Monroe in that secondary along with McGahee. And timeout called by Edinboro as the clock was down to 5 and Dickerson wasn't ready. So there's a timeout on the field with 10:37 to go in the ball game. IUP leads at 21-7 over the Borough. Back after this.
At S&T Bank, we know there's no limit how far you can go with the right kind of teamwork. And that's why we're proud to be a sponsor of IUP football. And it's why we view our relationship with you and every other customer in our community as one of teamwork. At S&T Bank, we can make it possible.
Well, IUP getting their defense on the sideline here to talk it over. It's a third down play for Edinboro. Edinboro coming up with a big play for them. Doug Steve is right behind the IUP bench. Doug?
Yes, on that last play, what happened is Corey Keys came on the field, the receiver for Edinboro. No one went off, and Coach McNay was yelling at the officials. They have 12 men on the field. Luckily, Dickerson also saw that, so that's why he had to use a timeout. They've used 2, I believe, already here in the, no, that was their first one, so each team has 2, but because they had 12 men on the field, Dickerson had to call the timeout. Jack Ray?
3rd down and 7 for Edinboro at their own 23-yard line. Dickerson under center, fakes the draw. They got him! Mike Marshall on the sack of Dickerson around the 13-yard line as he spun him down.
Well, the difference today is the defense. The defense is doing a terrific job. Not that Dennis Robinson's having a bad day at 152 yards, but Marshall, 10 and a half, I guess he has on the year.
And Scott Rupert will punt. Kicker Mosley, who bobbled a punt, is back there with Stewart for IUP. Rupert will be punting with the win. Here comes the kick. A high one, this one with a following wind. Backs up Mosley. He takes it at his own 43-yard line. Running laterally. Eludes one tackler. Now he comes across the 45, still on his feet, and his tackle around the 48. And slow getting up for Edinboro out in the open field there. That is Chris Snyder, the fullback. And a flag is down right at the spot where Snyder got up. Let's see what this is all about.
Yeah, it could indicate clip.
Yeah, so I was saying maybe he was clipped.
Yeah, because he's limping badly to the sideline. Mosley, he looks for north and south, and he gave IUP a couple of yards on that. They may get penalized here. I think we're going to go back.
They already indicated against IUP from the line of scrimmage, even though the illegal block took place downfield, the walk-off will occur against IUP. Well, IUP survived 10 penalties for 75 yards in the first half to lead 14-7 at the half, and they take this 21-7 lead into the fourth quarter, 9:51 remaining. Jack, this reminds you of a pitcher's duel, just a grind-out kind of game, but IUP has the edge.
And I think we discussed here, too, it's in the trenches. That's where this is happening, all this action. I mean, they are battling it out, and the IUP, of course, is winning it right now.
At the 38-yard line, Russell remains at quarterback. He's gone all the way, gives to Dennis Robinson. Comes over the left side across the 40, 45, and out to the 50-yard line. Dennis Robinson piling up the yardage, has a first down for IUP.
Dennis Robinson is just one fabulous back, and he is outshining the All-American Larry Jackson today. The tailback of the day is Dennis Robinson, and what a job. What did he get, 12 on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's up around 165 unofficially. Wow, what a day. And he finally is going to get to play a full game, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Mosley has spelled him on a couple of occasions. Glass is in at the fullback spot as Campolo is out. Hardison to the right, Henderson to the left. Russell from midfield. Under center, Chris Sledge takes a snap. Deep handoff to Robinson again. Over the middle. Spins his way across the 45 to the 43. Got about 7. Kerry Iacomelli leading the blocking along with Chris Valario.
Yep, and Mo Walton. I mean, just all of them up there getting a piece of somebody. And this is going to be pound-em-out football here for the next 9 minutes. IUP has a lead. They're going to take it to their offensive line and just do it that way. We've got Robinson unofficially with 103 yards in this half.
And officially in the first half he had 68, so that totals up to about 171. Second down and 3. IUP content to run this clock, which shows 8:95 to go. That's that bulb that falls up there. The handoff to Campolo over the middle, fighting for the first down, is close. Behind center, Chris Sledge gets to the 42-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short, maybe a yard and a half. It'll be third down for IUP.
And Ray, I just kind of get the feeling here, looking at the Edinboro defense, they're
sagging.
They're chugging along a little bit now. They're wearing down.
Boy, the IUP defense has really come to play the last couple of weeks. 3rd and 1 for IUP. Twins right, Hardison and Henderson. Out of the I set with Campolo, the up back. He gets the call, over the middle he goes, fights his way forward. Looks like he reached the yard line marker. Let's see if they give him the spot at the 40-yard line. They will, and it will be an IUP first down to keep the drive alive and run some more clock. IUP leading 21-7 with 7:50 to go in the ball game.
Well, once again, Luther Ford Sales is pleased to contribute to the IUP Business Scholarship Program. For every point IUP scores this football season, Luther Ford will donate $7 to the IUP Business Scholarship Program. Thus far this year, IUP has scored 290 points, which means Luther Ford will contribute $1,463. A commitment to excellence, IUP and Luther Ford Sales. Go with a winner, go with Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City.
IUP at the 40-yard line in the offset eye this time with Robinson deep. Russell to Robinson. Stutter steps at the line, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, slides forward, gets 3 tough yards to the 37-yard line.
I saw a guy make a run like that one time, and he also wore 32, and his name was Jim Brown.
Yeah.
I think he was pretty good, and Dennis Robinson has just been more than IUP could ever imagine.
And I think he's getting better each week, Jack. Of course, that offensive line keeps playing tremendously for IUP.
Well, he's learning the system. You know, I mean, he just wasn't here too long.
Clarion leads Slippery Rock 31-27. Clarion, IUP's next opponent next week at Clarion. 18-14, Shippensburg leading Kutztown. Out of the I set with wideouts both ways. Russell doubtless will keep the ball on the ground. He does. Robinson left side, this time hit behind the line, and he's going to lose yardage. The traps, the delay, the draws have been working. That time it didn't.
No, they had him pegged that time, one of the very few times that he lost yardage. And it'll be third down and 10 here now. 6:23. Boy, is IUP eating up the clock. They got the ball at the 9:51 mark. They're doing exactly what they should do in this drive. Eat up the clock, leading it by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, 21-7.
Let's see if Russell puts the ball in the air here. Hennigan wide to the right, or that quarterback roll. He's been running the ball a lot, Russell. Henderson and Hardison to the left. One setback, Robinson. Straight back to throw, Russell. Chased out of the pocket. Throws it away along the sideline. Almost intercepted, but it was out of bounds as Russell wisely just got rid of the football. The incomplete pass stops the clock with 5:53 to go. IUP will punt. McGee to do it. And IUP maintains that 21-7 lead.
Well, let's watch John McGee. What a year John McGee's had. He's an all-conference performer.
Edinboro leads the PSAC, averaging 39.3 points a game. They have 7. Of course, IUP is second with 38.4. The kick is away, and it's a beauty. Keys will signal for the fair catch and make it at his 6-yard line. That's a good punt for McGee. Not a good place to make a fair catch, but I guess he didn't want it down at the 1. They tell you if it's inside the 10, let it go.
They're in the attic. They're in the basement. They might even be under your bed. What are they? What do they want? What can we do? They're home movies. Remember them? Don't let your precious family memories literally fade away. Bring your home movies to the experts at the Home Movie Zone. Think of it. No bulky screen to wrestle with, no more noisy projector, and no tangled...